restrictions and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at richielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. The rain continues to taper off as we head through the rest of the afternoon. It stays cool and breezy this afternoon with a high of 72 with winds out of the north gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. 63 and cloudy tonight, and it's a cloudy start tomorrow, but we'll see gradual clearing with a nice afternoon and a high of 76.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 16 points to 46,300. Market update brought to you by Howard Hanna Allen Tate. Whether you're buying or selling, you want the best real estate agent. Howard Hanna Allen Tate is the Carolina's #1 real estate company for a reason. Call a Howard Hanna Allen Tate agent today.
Now Carolina gets a shot through and they'll score. Giovanni Smith off the faceoff. Smith powered his way and hammered that one through the crease. It'll come back for Nikishin at the left point. Alexander Nikishin wires and scores! A low shot to the blocker's side, and Alexander Nikishin has tied this game at 2. Carolina will come up with it. Robida spin shoots and scores! Justin Robida gets to the loose puck and hammers it past Black. We're tied at 3.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Dennis is back. I'm Tim Donnelly hosting the show. Dennis is producing.
I'm here.
Nice long weekend for Dennis. And there is a I hope there is a I should not speak for everybody. There is a noted more optimistic tint to today's show. Yesterday, we had a lot of venting, had a lot of stuff we had to get off our chest.
For sure.
We did that. I thought the listeners did a great job with Monday Sound Off. Now it's about solutions. We were big problems guys on Monday. Just saying everything that went wrong. Today, we're going to try to offer some solutions and not just be screaming about the skies falling. The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Let's start with the big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
The Carolina Hurricanes preseason, for the developmental stages, seems to have come to a close, right? They have one more dress rehearsal before the regular season starts, but they've sent down a good amount to the AHL, and it seems like they will have more of a dress rehearsal in the last, where a lot of the main guys get the move. Now, hand up, I think I may have contributed a bit to this.
Go on.
There's some outrage that Bradley Nadeau is being sent to the Chicago Wolves of the AHL.
Oh, no. How dare.
And the part that I think I may have played a role in the outrage is I am excited for Bradley Nadeau.
A lot of people are.
And he is different in outlook and kind of play style than some of the Carolina Hurricanes players. And it's something that I think the big league club is missing, and I think it is something that one day he could fill, and that is the slightly more selfish, not in personality, but in play, goal hunter. Like, I want to go score goals. The thing I do is rip sniper shots from wherever I get the puck. And I've been hyping up Bradley Nadeau for that reason. But I guess I should have been more clear that I am completely okay with him being in the AHL. For a whole bunch of reasons, okay? First of all being, If he's in the AHL, that means you got really good forwards on your NHL club, because if you have somebody that good, that talented, that much potential, and he can't break into the lineup, there must be somebody pretty darn good holding him back. Secondly, this is very much one of my favorite things about the NFL coaches speak can apply to this. Where there's a quarterback competition, what does the coach say? Well, Joe Schmo, he's our quarterback right now, and we're going to support him. And I'm like, ooh, that right now just gave you an out, didn't it? Because if tomorrow you come in and say Joe Smith, not Joe Schmo, is the quarterback, you can go, well, I just said right then, right? I'm not perjuring myself. Bradley Nadeau is in the AHL right now. This is a long season. The NHL is a rough and physical league. Bradley Nadeau is going to play in the NHL this year. Maybe not now, maybe not a ton, but when someone gets an injury, he's going to have opportunities, and then we get to see almost like a free pass at what he is at the NHL level. Right now, what is he, 20 years old?
Like just turned 20?
Like give him, oh, look at this. Somebody got, they tweaked their thumb. They're going to miss 6 games. Bring up Bradley Nadeau, let him feel it, and then go deal with whatever problems. Like I'm excited for Bradley Nadeau down the road, okay? And if the Canes weren't good, if they weren't a contender, then yeah, I'd be saying, like, why not bring him up and let him learn on the job and throw him into the deep end and let him figure out how to swim there. But there's too much to risk. If it's, Carrier or whoever taking that spot, that's 35 pounds, that's physicality, and it's more experience out there for the moment. Nadeau will get his shot. Somebody will get hurt. There'll be lineup shift. There'll be somebody that needs a reset, and he'll get the call up. I don't know for how many games, but I'm not worried about it. And I'm definitely not outraged when you look at the roster that I believe will be out there week 1, game 1. I'm actually looking at it going, I think it's better than last year. And they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and improved a decent amount, at least on paper. So you won't hear me complain. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's the big 3 at 3. Number 1. Let's hit number 2.
Number 2.
The Carolina Panthers, on to next week. Right, I said to 2. Monday was a lot about the problems. We're going to try to talk solutions. Well, there are a few things in favor for the Panthers. Outside of their control things. They're playing the Dolphins. Dolphins have not looked very good in their performances.
Got that win last night, though.
They did, however, at what cost? Tyreek Hill ends up going down with the injury. He's done for the year, maybe next year. That's what some of the Twitter expert doctors are saying about the types of surgeries and type of injury he's dealing with. So Tyreek Hill, not somebody you have to game plan for, when actually most of the time when you're playing a team with Tyreek Hill, you have to dedicate full portions of your scouting report to this guy's fast. We better know where he is. It's a short week for the Dolphins. So in addition to losing Tyreek, whatever boo-boos and owies and scratches and sprains and tweaks they've dealt with, they don't have as much time to heal, and they don't have as much time to game plan. So there's certain things working in your favor. None of that matters if the Panthers don't get their own house in order. Dave Canales speaking with the media about the identity is the word I was trying to say, of his Carolina Panthers.
I can say that this team has an identity to play hard with great effort and physicality. That continues to show up. We need to become a team that executes consistently, that carries off what I thought were 2 really good weeks of practice. One led to a great game. One led to a really poor performance, and so as the head coach, I'm the common denominator. I have to make sure we're in a great headspace so that the guys can be focused and execute consistently.
Gosh, I hate coach speak at this point in the season.
I feel great about playing football right now.
You had a great week of practice, you won by 30. You had a great week of practice, you lost by 30. So good practice means nothing, huh?
Or you need to reevaluate how you practice.
Or maybe it wasn't that good and you just don't know what a good practice looks like.
Yeah.
Turns out it wasn't that good.
I've heard 4 times this year, a great week of practice, and 3 of those were not close games.
It's
on the wrong end of those.
There's only so much you can change within a non-bye week on a football season. The Panthers have to find things to change. After the Falcons game, if you wanted to do the whole, like, back in the day with the bunny ears antenna, right? It's working. Nobody move. Don't change a thing because you won 30-0. Fine. After that Patriots game, there better be changes. We better notice something different when you take on Miami this weekend. Or else you're just doing the same thing. It's the cliche, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It's not the way to go about it. We'll talk later in the show about what even is on the menu as far as changes for the Carolina Panthers and what we already know the Panthers will not change, like their play caller. Canales said he's not giving it up. That's number 2. Let's hit number 3.
Number 3.
Bill Belichick, on a bye week, I guess, has time for the fans. Normally, his GM, Michael Lombardi, has been handling the Tar Heel Live, the kind of coaches show that they hold, which traditionally had been the head coach. But on a bye week, Bill Belichick stopped by. We have some of the audio, and again, throughout the show, we'll talk about many of the different quotes that Belichick and Lombardi gave during the kind of longer form, not press conference after a game or weekly availability conversations that they had, starting with Bill Belichick talking about establishing the foundation of the Tar Heel football program.
We're way better than we were. We still have a long way to go, but Jones, I think the big thing is establishing a culture, a work ethic, a commitment to winning, and that's comes on a lot of different levels. It's on the field, it's off the field, it's in the classroom, it's training, it's nutrition, it's all the things. It's scouting, bringing in the right players, and it's just putting it all together. So, we're doing that, and we learn a little bit more week by week. Actually, day by day. I shouldn't say that. Day by day, week by week, of what we can do better, and getting everybody acclimated to the process and the culture of the program. So it's been fun. We're grinding away. We're getting a lot better, and I'm enthused with the progress we've made. We certainly have a long way to go, but we're on the right track.
There's a lot of interesting there. I'll start with this. We'll never know some of the things that we would need to know to accurately judge how patient we should be with Bill Belichick running the North Carolina program. I would imagine that there is some kind of ticking clock going on here because of his age and because of the money being paid and because of the length of the guarantees and contracts and things. You can't wait forever. But if it was articulated from the very beginning, hey, listen, this program, what I'm taking over is in such a place that it is not going to have the culture that we want in place for a while, and that's coming true, then maybe there is some logical patience being given here. But if it was given with, hey, we're going to run the 33rd professional team, we're going to show up and do things in this way, and it's going to impact this much this early, it obviously hasn't taken root this early. Because the funny part is they keep emphasizing culture and all this. That's actually one of the things I'm most worried about. Watching that program is how much buy-in is there.
Yeah, what is it?
What is it? Where's the commitment? Why does the sideline look different in the fourth quarter versus the first quarter, which is a scary thought there, and that's just body language and support and juice and whatever you want to call it. There's a lot going on there. And I wish I knew when he took the job, if he said, like, hey, by year 3, we're going to have this bad boy cranking, then, and that's the expectation, all right. If he sold a faster bill of goods than that, and you're looking at the first month of the program going, where is it? It's a different beast. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We know Bill Belichick has a certain guaranteed future, guaranteed money will do that. What about the Daves? Dave Canales, Dave Doeren. We opened up the phone lines yesterday. There was quite a bit of requesting being done by the listeners for jobs to be at least on the hot seat, if not already given up. What's the future of Dave Doeren? Dave Canales, stick around.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union.
Wait,
What?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Coach takes the blame for us all the time. We got to step up and we got to have his back. You know what I'm saying? That feeling of last week is one that we need to keep having. And it's one that we got to keep working if we want to achieve every week, right? So, we appreciate him, but this team knows, man. We want to be a player-run team. We want to be a player-led team to where, it doesn't matter what he calls. It doesn't matter what Dave and Brad call. Or Tracy. We want to go out there and have execution at the highest level so we can enjoy the fruits of our labor, you know what I'm saying?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to build off of a conversation we had yesterday. So yesterday, Monday Sound Off, which, by the way, every Monday about 4:15, we open up the phone lines. So if you have something you want to get off your chest, just bookmark it, write it down. Be ready on Mondays. But there was quite a bit, and I was expecting it, quite a bit of talk about Dave Doeren and Dave Canales' job security. And reason being, the Panthers got smoked by the New England Patriots after a win kind of got everybody's hopes up that things were going to be different this time. And NC State, coached by Dave Doeren, lost to Virginia Tech in what some, including me, called a must-win game. Virginia Tech was reeling. It was, both were reasonably expected to be better performances by the teams. Here is my official take. My official response, I would like to register it. Can we get it notarized? My official response.
It's on the record.
To the listeners that basically, in their fantasy worlds, which we all live in, fired both coaches or one of those coaches yesterday. The easy part of being NFL owner, or the easy part of being the athletic director or the president of the university, is firing the coach. The easy part is saying, this hasn't lived up to our expectations. We want more. We want better. We're a program that deserves better. Our money should be bringing better results back. We want to fire the coach. That's the easiest part of the whole thing. What you have to ask yourself before you pull the trigger on an event like that, on a decision like that, is, are you in position to do everything the right way after? And it's not just the most logical question in the world, which I ask all the time, which is there someone out there better that you can get? Right? When you bench your quarterback, and I'm looking at the backup quarterbacks going, that guy may not be good enough, but I'm not sure the guys are going to put in there are good enough either. Right? If you fire your coach, do you think you have the ability to go out and get a better coach in that spot? That's the first part. That's just surface level. That's just run-of-the-mill stuff. Any old decision maker knows, all right, well, let me go to my little black book and see what numbers I have in here, what agents I can talk to, and see if we can get better. There's also a laundry list of other things. We'll start with a state, right? Let's say Dave Doeren, most wins in program history. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a firing, right? Maybe there's a nudging towards retirement or something like that. There's a, hey, let's get in a room, let's have some bourbon, and let's talk about the future of the program. Maybe there's a way we do this without the fire word, right? Who knows? I'm just spitballing here, no insider information. You can think your team needs a fresh voice leading it and still recognize, even if we get the fresh voice, there's other things holding us back. UNC, and I know the Bill Belichick thing hasn't worked out as fantastic immediately as they want, but they fired Mac Brown, and what'd they have to do? They ponied up a whole bunch of cash, doubled the salary for the head coach, brought in a ton of money for NIL revenue share, brought in a ton of money for support staff and assistant coaches, brought in a ton of money in so many different ways. Virginia Tech fired their coach a handful of weeks ago. Guess what happened today? They approved $229 million in additional football budget over the next 4 years. That is $57 million in change per year in additional funding. You fire your coach in today's modern college football environment, it's not just, oh, we'll go find a different guy. It's, oh, you got to find a different guy and $50 million per year if you want to give the next guy the chance of having success. I'm all for exploring every option, but you have to honestly look at yourself and say, do we have the resources to do everything right? Because here's the deal. If Virginia Tech, and I'm not bashing on Virginia Tech here, I've covered Virginia Tech. I've got friends that are still in that world. They're in the middle of nowhere. Blacksburg is not a metropolis.
As someone who grew up in Virginia, yeah, there ain't nothing around Blacksburg other than Blacksburg.
If they're coming up with $57 million a year additionally, and you're out there in the coaching market and you're looking for the best possible candidate, and they're throwing like, hey, we may not have, the designer stores in the mall, but we got $57 million in addition to what we already had in budget, you're probably going to lose out on coaching candidates unless you're bringing similar resources to the table. Now let's look at it from the Dave Canales of it all, right? There's multiple conversations going on here. The immediate future for the Panthers, and when I talk about immediate future, I mean at least the next 2 months, it's Dave Canales and Bryce Young. Okay, because that's all that makes sense. Making the change now, there's no logic there. If you make the decision that Dave Canales is not the guy, I do think it would be whole-scale changes. I don't think you're keeping Dan Morgan and firing Dave Canales, or you're keeping Bryce Young and firing Dave Canales, or any two of the three and keeping the third. And the reason being is you got to learn from your mistakes, right? The four horsemen of the franchise that we talk about, owner, GM, head coach, quarterback, have to be on the same page, have to trust each other with their lives. The last time they made a switch, you'd like to think that the hirer believes in the people he's hiring. So this most recent time, what'd you have? You had David Tepper hiring Dave Canales after promoting Dan Morgan. But they inherited a quarterback. They had a holdover from the previous regime in the quarterback Bryce Young. And guess what we've talked about most in the last year and a half? I'm not sure if Dave Canales trusts Bryce. I'm not sure if Bryce trusts Dave Canales. Would you look at that? The one that was a holdover, the one that wasn't brought in the proper order, is where the circle of trust has been off kilter, has been not lined up. You need to kind of do things in the right order. Owner hires a GM. The GM and the owner get together. They hire a head coach. The head coach, the GM, and the owner get together. They pick a quarterback. And then everybody is invested in everybody's success in the same way. And there's no, well, dang, I wouldn't have taken him. I would have kept our 9th pick, and I would have drafted Jalen Carter, and then I would have taken Drake May the next year. I would have taken Jaden Daniels the next year. Now I would have done this, and I own this guy. He's not that. And then even if it's subconscious. So before you just willy-nilly take either of the Daves, Dave Doeren or Dave Canales, and in your brain just go, he's gone, he should be gone, he's not doing this, he's not doing what he's promised, ask yourself, okay, let's play the mind game. Let's do the first step. Fire the coach. All right, do we have a second step? Do we know someone out there that we realistically think we can hire that is a better coach? All right, now do the third step. In NC State's case, it would be, can we come up with the funding? Can we come up with the over-the-top spending that would give that new and better coach a realistic chance of establishing themselves quickly? And in the Panthers case, it would be, if we move on from Dave, are we ready to move on from Bryce? Are we ready to potentially move on from Dan Morgan? Because unless all of those are in alignment, there's a good chance you're going to be looking at a circle of trust, and there's going to be a link missing in the chain.
So yeah, here's the potential cycle you can go back down. We can probably dive in more of this later on. If you're the Carolina Panthers, could you fall into the trap of, okay, let's say you move on from Bryce, Dave Canales can bring in his own guy, and Dave Canales the team still fails. So then you move on from Canales, and you're bringing in another coach, and that QB is not their guy. Then you get back into the cycle of it all again.
Their timelines aren't aligned.
Yeah.
It's like when you're trying to move in with your boyfriend or girlfriend, but your leases are like 6 months off. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're ready to move, they're not ready, and your place isn't big enough for two. You got roommates, and it's like, so now they sign another year lease, and then when you're ready to move, you're like, well, you got 6 more months on your lease. It's, it's like 3 years for a coach and quarterback, right? If you draft highly a quarterback, unless it goes astronomically bad, you usually get 2.5, 3 years before you're fully 100% moved on. It's usually 2.5, 3 years if you do it right and give them the chance for a head coach. So if you started Bryce a year earlier than Dave, yeah, after this year, you're probably ready to either, make a decision on Bryce or jump off the wagon there. And you're going, well, we really need to give Dave Canales one more year. All right, well, now Dave Canales gets, Garrett Nussmeier, gets Lenora Sellers. And if it doesn't work for a year, you're going, well, we can't give up on the quarterback. But Dave's had now 3 years. It's time, and it never lines up. So somebody's going to get the raw end of the deal if you make the move. Somebody's not going to get their full 3 years because along the way you've messed up the timelines. There's just more than just, I don't like the product on the field, fire them now. You think that's like a finish line. That's a starting line for the work. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis, you have something you'd like to pass along to the people?
I do. Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss. Folks, I've been on this journey for about 2 months now, just over 2 months with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I am down nearly 40 pounds. Nearly 40 pounds down thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and it's not been easy. I'm not going to say, but the one thing I appreciate about Raleigh Weight Loss Center is the fact that they just have a plan that you got to stick with. It's simple. You just stick with the plan. I think that's a frustrating thing for a lot of people when it comes to weight loss is they research stuff online, they try and figure out what to do, and they're not sure entirely what works to them, so they try and start something and not sure if it's working, so they skip to something else and they just get frustrated, and then guess what? Nothing really goes anywhere. Raleigh Weight Loss Center, they said, Dennis, here you go. Here's the plan. And in over 60 days, I've lost nearly 40 pounds. Because I stuck with the plan. And they just straight up gave you a plan right from the get-go. And Raleigh Weight Loss Center, their whole thing that you could do with them is that you can actually see if the plan is right for you. You're not sure if the program is right for you? Go to RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and schedule your free 15-minute phone call to learn more. Ask any of the questions that you have, any concerns that you have, bring them up, determine if it's the right fit for your needs. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or again, visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, and you can set up that free 15-minute consultation. You can answer all the questions and concerns that you have. Is it the right thing for you? Give them a call, 919-897-7506, and set up that free 15-minute consultation today. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Dean's List is coming up next. Who in the college sports world gets a little extra praise? Stick around.
Hey, it's Brian from McDonald's. And if you're like me, you're a don't talk to me until I get my cup of coffee person. Sarah knows that very well. That's why I treat myself to McDonald's. And right now, you can grab any sized iced coffee for just $1. Maybe you need something extra. Go for a hot or iced mocha, latte, or macchiato for $2. And if you're really feeling fancy, for $3, you can get a caramel or mocha frappe. Easy as 1, 2, 3. $1, $2, $3. Any size, every morning, during breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here's the snap. He will throw. They bring pressure. He's got time, though. Lofts it. In zone for Barkay. Got it again. Touchdown. His second of the ball game. A little shoulder shake. And it's 23-3.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, we're about to give some extra accolades. We're about to pass along a little extra praise to some people.
Yeah.
Would there possibly be a reason that I might be able to share with the people that you deserve a little extra accolades?
Oh, should I share some news?
Yes. But actually, fire-breaking news.
Oh,
fire-breaking news.
Fire the breaking news? All right. Oh, wait, there it is. A little slow. Took a weekend off. Yeah, I have some breaking news in my personal life. I am now happily engaged.
Hey!
I'll even get the clapping sound effect to myself. So, yes, my girlfriend Erin and I, we got engaged actually back on Thursday morning, which was actually the 3-year anniversary of our first date. So, proudly and happily engaged.
I will.
We've not set a date on anything yet.
No disrespect to you. Yeah, I kicked your coverage on
I
that
did.
one. There
Absolutely did.
So
like the Panthers every year.
Isn't it funny how our compliment in dating lives is really just a special team's insult?
It kind of is, actually.
That's funny. No, but congratulations,
Thank
for you, and congratulations to Aaron as well. And I'm sure all our listeners will pass along all of their well wishes and happy thoughts, and maybe some advice from some of the longtime married folk out there. So congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
It's not exactly college related, but I thought it was a good time to mix it in with the Dean's List.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
There you go.
It's been a lot of. It's
I didn't want to do like, hey, should we fire the Daves? By the way, congratulations.
Well, it's funny were you mentioning like the lease and apartments and all that kind of stuff. I was like, actually, last year I extended my lease 7 months to because that was a good timeline for us and everything along those lines. So anyway, it was.
Can we do that with Bryce? We'd like to extend Bryce's contract exactly as long as we're comfortable with Dave Canales, so we can move on from both of them at the same time.
That might be the move.
I was saying that. I don't think you keep one and not the other is my point there. But now you lifetime contract. Congrats.
Hey, I'm in.
There you go. Let's jump into the Dean's List here on the Drive. Dean's List, where we pass along a few extra accolades, a little extra praise to those that make some kind of connection to the college sports world here in the area. We'll start with this is a requirement. We'll start with Chandler Rivers, Duke cornerback. Will Hardy, North Carolina Tar Heel safety, and Isaiah Shirley, NC State defensive lineman. They have all been named to the Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year Award watch list.
I saw that earlier today.
Do you know what else we should, and for those of you that don't know, because I didn't, the Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year Award is presented annually to the FBS college football player who has demonstrated a record of leadership by exhibiting exceptional courage, integrity, and sportsmanship both on and off the field. You know what else should probably make the Dean's List? Whoever has so many trophies and awards, we kind of offhand, because I didn't think there were this many, if I'm being real. Preseason, I said, you know what? If someone from one of the schools we cover make a watch list for one of these national awards, and I was thinking it was going to be like Butkus Award, Heisman, Davey O'Brien, like just the big ones. We're going to put them on the Dean's List when they make the watch list or the semifinalist list or the midseason watch list. I feel like every day there's a new list or a new award that I'm learning about. There's the Earl Campbell something or another award where you have to be from Texas or play your college football in Texas, and you have to be coming back from some kind of a hardship, most likely an injury, while playing exceptional football. There's the Chandler Rivers, Will Hardy, Isaiah Shirley, semifinalist Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year Award. I mean, Jason Witten was a really good tight end at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Got to name the Man of the Year Award after him? I feel like there already are, man. Anyway, a lot of awards is what I'm saying, and congratulations to those that might win them. Do you have a Dean's List you'd like to throw out here?
Yeah, Jason Witten. You have an award named after you that I didn't know about. So, yeah, Jason Witten, Dean's List.
So many. It's crazy. Next Dean's List members. This is a group. Miami, Georgia Tech, Florida State, and Virginia. ACC 4 ranked in the latest AP poll.
Let's go.
None of them moved up. Miami is now third. They were second. They had a bye week, so they
had a drop, of course.
Dropped down in their day off. Georgia Tech went from 17 to 6, or sorry, to 17 from 16 because they squeaked by Virginia. Florida State went from 18 to 18 from 8. They were 8, dropped all the way down. You know, a blowout loss will do that, or a upset loss will do that. Sorry, Georgia Tech didn't barely lose to Virginia. I just have Virginia in mind. They barely beat Wake Forest. Not sure they should have. And then Virginia, for beating Florida State, went from unranked to 24th. So I wouldn't say it was a good weekend for the ACC. And the numbers that matter the most, I know it's AP, not CFP, but the numbers that matter the most are you in the top 11? And there's only one in the top 11, which is a bit scary. But 4 teams are ranked, so I wanted to give them the praise for carrying the flag of the ACC. We need ACC top 11 teams. More Dean's List. This one's a little random, but it means something to a certain subset of us. I'm putting Conference USA in the Dean's List. If you remember, some of you, earlier this season, I kind of learned, and it was not a fun thing to learn, that midweek MACtion is kind of gone. The MAC is not playing those Wednesday night games that we've come to love so much. And I was clicking through the schedule, and I was very confused because that is the appetizer. That is the snack, the mid-after, for those of you that have toddlers out there. The like 3:30 snack that gets your kid from lunch to dinner, and it is necessary to prevent the hangry goblin from coming out. Like, that's what MACtion was. Tuesday night MACtion gets us from Monday Night Football to Thursday night. Well, they're kind of cutting it out. So I saw this, Conference USA, they're dipping their foot in the water. They see an opening. They're calling it Weekday Conference USA. And they're dabbling in a little Friday, Thursday, Wednesday action starting, I think, next week. But they're already on Friday this week. So Conference USA perhaps providing us that drop of water in a long desert run from Monday Night Football till college and NFL starting back up on Thursday. And then last member of the Dean's List, and this is, you put your money where your mouth is, you make the Dean's List. When we're talking about the health of the ACC, you need deep pockets to compete. Virginia Tech makes the Dean's List. for the health of the ACC, the Virginia Tech board approved adding an extra $229 million to its athletics budget over the next 4 years. They voted 13-1, by the way. I guess there's a 14-member board. 13-1. The lone no vote was lodged over an increase to student fees to help pay for the increase. You want a good football team? You have to fork over $9 each, everybody in school. I don't know how much student fees are, but that's, you know, it's the logic of, if everybody could just give me one quarter in America, I would be a rich man, right? And you guys wouldn't even notice the quarters missing. I think that's kind of what Virginia Tech is doing. We need millions of dollars for our athletics budget. If everybody could just give me a tenner, I think we can make it work. You guys won't notice the 10, but the starting guard on the football team that needs $600,000 notice. I don't know. It's good for the ACC that teams are willing to spend, because if you don't spend, you get left, and that's not a good feeling. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will dismiss the Dean's List because we got to get to the podium of the teams in the ACC from the state of North Carolina. Who gets the gold medal? Who gets to stand at the top of the podium? Stick around to find out.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
It's the final shot at the Championship 4. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Don't miss Bailey's Fall Antique and Vintage Jewelry Show October 7th through 11th. Search through hundreds of vintage necklaces, rings, bracelets, earrings, and more to discover your unique jewelry treasure. Visit Bailey's Fine Jewelry on October 7th in Rocky Mount, October 8th in Greenville, October 9th in Cary, or October 10th and 11th in Raleigh's Village District to find your perfect piece of jewelry history. Visit BaileyBox.com for details.
Snap Bailey, wide side of the field, rips it, caught, touchdown! 13 yards to the far side of the end zone. Fireworks flying, Carter Finley, Keenan Jackson underneath it for the haul.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into the podium, so many of you have already done it. So if you've already downloaded our app, which many of you have, and I know that, we can see the numbers, thank you. If you haven't done that yet, please do. Join the crew. Join the crowd. Be part of the cool group. Go to the Google Play Store if you're on an Android, the App Store if you're on an iPhone, and download the 99.9 The Fan. I'm only kidding about like you're not in the cool crowd already, but I can tell you this, like many of you have, which I really do appreciate, and many of you have given the 5-star reviews and all those things, and we want that to continue. And if you do that, we'll keep, I don't want to make this like we're training a circus animal where it's like if you keep doing that, we'll keep giving you treats. We'll give the elephant peanuts. Yeah.
I'm in.
Get on your hind legs and blow your trunk. Here you go. Here's some treats. That's how you train an elephant, right? I've never trained an elephant, but it seems, that's that easy.
We'll roll with it.
My point is, we'll keep giving stuff away on the app if more and more and more of you keep downloading. And just to be clear, if you downloaded it right away, we're like 2.5 weeks or something like that into having this app, and we're really excited about it, and we're constantly putting content on it. But if day one you downloaded it, you're eligible for all of these giveaways. Right? We're not messing over the people that did it first. And the only new signups. No, everybody is eligible. But for you to be eligible, you do have to go sign up. And you can always jump into the pool of contestants. So head to, like I said, the Google Play Store, the App Store, search 99.9 The Fan. You may have to scroll down one or two just because it's such a new app. But download it, subscribe, give it 5 stars, write a review about how awesome it is. And then once you're in the app, create a profile. That's what some of you have forgotten to do, where we see you're like a constant user, but you're not registered yet. You're still registering as a guest. If you make the little profile, give us your name, give us your birthday, email address, then you're in the mix for giveaways. And the giveaway that's going on now, we've given away tickets to UNC Clemson. We've given away a signed Xavier Legette jersey, and now we'll be giving away NC State Georgia Tech tickets. November 1st, we have a pair of tickets going to someone out there. But you have to be registered on the app to win. And we'll send you an email saying you won. Dennis, you weren't here yesterday. We had to do the in-person real version of checking the box to prove that we're not a robot.
Oh, okay.
So our promotions team sent out the email saying, so-and-so name, thank you for being a subscriber to the pod, or sorry, to the app. You've won Xavier Legette jersey, signed. Here you go. And they wrote back, this feels fake. Can you send something that proves you are who you are? So they sent a picture of me holding up the jersey with like a thumbs up, and they wrote back, okay, now have him hold up 3 fingers, because that could just be like a promotional picture that you grabbed off someone else's website.
That's true.
So it was me. Then I had to, hold the jersey again, hold up the 3 fingers, and send it. And then he was like, oh, all right, I won the Xavier Legette signed jersey. It was very much like, click on all of the pictures that have a crosswalk in it. Like it was proved to me you're not a robot. And we proved the robot was not us. We proved we were real. And that person won a Xavier Legette signed jersey.
Nice.
So
I respect that person's due diligence. as a company where once a month we have to go through security training with all emails and all that kind of stuff.
They are not going to show up in our lobby going, I'm here for the jersey, only for us to go, what are you talking about? They are not going to do it. But anyway, my point is download the app, and if you want to put me through the ringer proving that we're real once you're the winner, I can take a couple pictures. With that being said,
actually, should I send him a picture of my motorcycle and be like, click on all the stuff that's a motorcycle?
Yeah, click on all of them that have a street light within it, and then there's always a street light right on the. Does that cross over into the other box?
So annoying.
Click it. Oh, I got to do it again. Is that a 7 or is that a 1 in the little warped words things you got to click on?
It's an L.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually. Anyway, that's enough about the CAPTCHAs. Let's get to the podium. There it is. Got to build this suspense. Podium, it's a 1-week award. We look at the 4 teams in the ACC from the state of North Carolina. 1 gets the gold medal, 1 gets the silver, 1 gets the bronze, and somebody's got to be off the podium. And it's based on how they played for football season, their most recent week, right? It's their most recent weekend. We'll start off the podium. State lost to Virginia Tech 23-21. This was a win. This was a reasonable expectation win for NC State. Virginia Tech fired their coach. Virginia Tech lost a bunch of players in the transfer portal. It was a night game at home, full stadium, coming off of a loss. All of the ingredients for come out, play well, play hard, play with juice, get the win, and it didn't happen. You let Virginia Tech hang around, believe in themselves, and by the end, I mean, even though it was a one-score game, it felt pretty cut and dry by like the end of the third. It was just, okay, yeah, I've seen this movie before. I know how it's going to end. And sure enough, Virginia Tech wins. So they're off the podium, and I assume they had a pretty rough week of self-evaluation. Bronze medal. Carolina, bye week. It's better than losing a horrendous one, but it's you can't do too much good when you're 2-2 with two pretty bad losses and you're going into a bye week, and their schedule is weird. They go Clemson, then another bye. So it's almost like they're going to go a month with only playing Clemson.
I think it's one game in 27 days.
So
it's really odd.
We won't know whether they won or lost this weekend until like a month and a half from now, when we can see how much better they are coming out on the other side of it. But for now, they'll sit on bronze. They're on the podium, but they're not, they're not flirting with the top of the podium by any stretch. Silver goes to Wake Forest. I hate what I'm about to say. They should have beaten Georgia Tech. You could even argue they did beat Georgia Tech. I don't know what it is about offsides calls that are so difficult, but it definitely appeared to me they had a 3rd and 5 at the end of the game. They had the ball, had the lead. If they get the first down, game kind of over, right?
They've run out the clock.
Yeah, you're taking knees, your victory formation, you're having fun. And a Georgia Tech player, from where I'm watching the video, it looks like he jumps off sides, 5 yards, first down, bada boom, bada bang. Thank you, you win the game. It's over. It's not called. They go on to play out the rest of the game. Georgia Tech wins. They escape, which might end up being better for the ACC, but Wake Forest doesn't care about that. They care about what's best for them. They're silver because they probably deserve to win over a top 25 opponent. And it stinks saying that because you hate to blame refs, and then you got to go back and go like, well, actually, they missed a call in favor of Wake Forest in the second quarter. But when it's at the end of the game and it's so obvious, like if they make this call, game over, it's tough not to play that what-if game. So I don't like it. And if many of you are out there going, oh, geez, I get it. I'd probably be doing the same thing in your situation. But Wake Forest might have a little more juice than you'd think. Gold. The gold medal, this one's obvious. It goes to Duke. They mollywopped Syracuse. And you know what? Is it a little opportunistic? Maybe, right? Because Syracuse lost their quarterback the week before. Little reeling action there, maybe. A little but Duke, you got to take advantage of it, right? Did you see the quote? I want to be clear. This is not my quote. Did you see the quote from Bryce Hall last night?
I did not. The New York Jets running back?
The New York Jets running back. I'm actually I don't want to mess it up because it is, for anyone that's ever been a fan of a bad team, it hits home so aggressively. All right, Bryce Hall on the Jets' losses. Teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. Right? Which means
that's one way of putting it.
It's aggressive, and it's his quote. It's not mine, and you never make light of gun violence or suicide or anything. But the metaphor he's going for is like when other teams are playing bad or when other teams are in a bad situation, we don't even take advantage of it. We just play worse than they're playing. So, Duke being opportunistic. All right, their team doesn't have their quarterback. Their team's making some mistakes. You still have to have the wherewithal to not stoop to their level of play or not join their sloppy or sloppy play or whatever you want to call it, right? You can't they shot themselves in the foot. Well, I'll shoot myself in the foot, and now we're on level playing field. Like, you can't do that. It's similar to what I said about the Panthers when they played the Falcons. Falcons gave you a lot. You got to walk through the door if they're going to open it. Duke ran through the door. They knocked Syracuse opened the door for them, and they took a bulldozer to the whole side of the house. Like, they did what they were supposed to do, so they get the gold medal. 38-3, even a team dealing with some struggles. 38-3, it's good. It's a good win. And then we have our gold star. This is the more recent addition to the podium, where we add on a little bit of we add on a little extra praise, it's not a medal, an extra award. We call it the gold star for a Group of 5 or lower division team from the state of North Carolina that deserves to be commended. Dennis, we traditionally turn to you for the announcement.
Easy. East Carolina, once again, big win at home over Army on Thursday Night Football on ESPN last week. Massive win for the Pirates and Coach Harrell. So, yeah, ECU, back on the – we should name this award. You know how there's the Jason Witten, whatever award. We got to come up with a name for this.
I mean, my first gut reaction would be like the App State over Michigan upset of all upsets. The whatever, does that
but that's not really, this isn't really an upset though. That's
but like that they deserve
for sure
to gold star for beating
the 07 App State award.
Yeah, like actually it should be like the Chad Henne Award because he was the quarterback of Michigan that day.
Yeah, there you go.
But we can workshop that. But it's I almost didn't think of ECU for the gold star this week because Thursday feels so long ago. But I liked everything about it. They had the fake kick with the surprise holder in there.
Yeah, for the touchdown.
He's not even the normal holder.
That's a wide receiver, right?
That is a bold move by the coaches to assume that nobody's going to notice you have a different player holding the snap. But then on top of that, you get to, Army roughed them up the year before. They kind of got their lick back. It was a good win for ECU. And Caden Hauser's slinging the rock. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the podium and the gold star.
I need to workshop this
name?
This award.
Hey, if you have a good idea for what we can call the award that goes to a Group of 5 or lower division, like the old 1AA, Division 2, Division 3.
Well, like the David Garrard, Chris Johnson.
Okay,
I don't something along those lines.
The hard part is to name it after. Is there like when these awards get named? Like the winner of the Doak Walker Award might play for Miami. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Doak Walker is Florida State, but Doak Walker apparently was such a player, such an unbelievable star back in the day that even rivals are like, yeah, that guy's pretty good. Like if you name it the David Garrard, that's obviously an ECU player. Will App State fans be like, sweet, we got the David Garrard Award this year.
Yeah.
Or this week.
The Chris Johnson Award?
Yeah, like it's and I don't want to get to like the David Garrard, Armonte Edwards on, like I don't want to have to name it after 7 different people to make every fan base happy. So is there one, Chris Johnson might be that guy. Is there one dude that's just way above everyone that even like a rival would look at and go, no, that one makes sense.
Because we do include FCS into this, and we also will include basketball. Is it the Steph Curry Award?
Steph Curry would be a good one. Steph Curry would be a good. Yeah, I mean, it can ECU can't get mad that it's Steph Curry.
Yeah,
like they're probably like, okay, no, that one's okay. We'll see. And if you have an idea, you can send it to us in our YouTube live stream comments, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. You can send it to me on Twitter, @Donnelly Sports, Carrier Pigeon, however you get it to us. We'll entertain the smoke signals, however you send it. We'll make
Steph Curry, Bob McKillop.
Steph Curry, Bob McKillop. Gold star.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 coming up next. What realistically could and should the Panthers change in time for their Miami Dolphins game this week? Stick around.
This is John Wall. The Salvation Army does so much for people right here in Wake County. Join me and 999 The Fan and showing them some love and support. It's trying to help people get housing, try to help people get jobs, try to feed the people as much as possible. I mean, a lot of people don't understand how much help is out there for them. If you go out there looking for it and asking for it, it's a pride thing. We try not to ask questions or try to ask for help, but the Salvation Army is there for them to try to get back as much as possible. So if you're out there looking for some food, some housing, anything like that, you can always depend on the Salvation Army. If you want to help, visit wakearmy.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Richie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Richie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to RichieLaw.com.
That's RichieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. We'll see mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the afternoon and just a few lingering sprinkles, a high of 72 and a bit breezy, winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Cloudy and mild overnight with low 60s, and we'll start with some clouds tomorrow, but end with sunshine in the afternoon. We'll see highs in the mid-70s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell up 82 points today to 46,397.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4. Football at 4. Carolina Panthers smoked by the Patriots.
So bad.
Luckily, they're not catching the 85 Bears on the bounce back, looking for a rebound. Right? They're catching the 2025 Dolphins. Now, the irony is, I actually I follow some people that cover the Patriots, just cross paths early in our career, and they were talking about how the Panthers were the get-back game for the Patriots, and now they're dancing, right? Now they're like, hey, look at this. Everything's going well. That's exactly what they needed. A doctor ordered a convincing win at home, and no stress, and Drake May, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going like, you know what? I think the Panthers need one of those. Can they play the Wake Forest JV team or something like that? The Wake Forest High School JV team, something like that? They need a get-back game. Can they go play... Can they go play a middle school somewhere just to get their hopes up, right? Just to get their confidence up. Well, no. Instead, they get the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a Tyreek Hill injury, which was pretty gruesome last night. A short week after playing on Monday Night Football. A team where coach hot seat, quarterback hot seat. Like, they've got a lot of stuff going on with the Dolphins. Dolphins are still favored, but if there's going to be a game for the Panthers to get some of their mojo, maybe this is it. But I can tell you this with 100% certainty. If you play like you did against the Patriots, you're not getting any mojo back. You have to change things. You have to do things differently. And in some cases, big different, right? Not, we're going to make him run his his dig at 12.5 yards now rather than 14. Like, no, that's not the difference. It's something big. Which is tough because in season there's not a lot of time to make big changes. And you know what you're going to hear from Dave Canales. Well, we're going to watch the film and we're going to do everything we can to improve and we're going to work to get better and blah, 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 blah. which is frustrating, but it is what it is. That's what you're going to get from Dave Canales. Don't be surprised by it. I'm gonna cut one of the options off at the right at the beginning. Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to play. Okay, he is a rookie wide receiver with speed. Played at Colorado, kick return. He's a good player, right? He's an interesting prospect. It is unfair to think, well, this 6th-round rookie is going to be the big difference that changes our professional NFL, highly paid, billions and billions of dollars franchise week to week. The difference between New England smoking us and us beating the brakes off of the Dolphins is Jimmy Horn Jr. Jimmy Horn Jr. should be asked to go out there and do his job, to go out there and maybe make a catch or two and try to do what he can yards after the catch and maybe even return a kick and be safe doing that and protect the football. He should not be asked to go in there and change the trajectory of an NFL team. Not yet. Let him show some potential first. We haven't seen him in an NFL game. He hasn't been active in an NFL game. So while I can hope that he does well, and I think many are, like that's what you do. You're hoping that a young player, has an awesome experience. There's going to have to be somebody else that is the big change. And by the way, it should be somebody else. I said this yesterday. You got a wide receiver that was drafted 8th overall. You have the 3rd highest paid defensive back in the history of the game. You have one of the highest paid interior defensive linemen. You have a quarterback that was drafted number 1 overall. You have a running back that you gave a bunch of money to last season. You have players that you should be able to look towards and say, all right, change things. If Jimmy Horn Jr. walks out there in his game uniform for the first time and that group of players I just mentioned is looking at him like, oh, good, he can save us, something bigger is at problem here, is the problem here. One of the options that is always available to a team, if you need a spark, is to change your play caller. That is a big change, especially when your head coach is the play caller. It is always a possibility. Dave Canales says he is not changing his play caller. He will continue to steer the ship, and I don't necessarily disrespect him for that. Do we have the audio of him saying that? We do have the audio of him saying that. So I'll let you hear it in his own words. Here's Dave Canales.
We're still gathering information right now about who we are, who we can play with, and what schemes are working for us. And as we continue to build off of those, right now just sticking to the core concepts of what we're doing. So I don't anticipate any changes.
I even if I think it's the right move, I don't think he makes it. Like that, if that's what you do, that's what you do. And you want to be the captain of the ship, even if it's sinking, right? You live and die by your own calls. I get it. Here's what I would do if I were Dave Canales. I would give somebody the authority, and I would have to trust them. So it might be a Brad Idzik. It could be somebody else that you trust. The authority to, pick the chapter of play. Anybody that's ever played a video game, and I don't know if they still do this, but back in the day, you're playing like NCAA football, the old version, or you're playing Madden. When you're picking a play, you could go like deep pass, play action pass, inside run. You could do like toss, right? You would select like a chapter of the playbook, which was a type of play.
Yeah, style of play.
And then within that, right, the scheme, oftentimes when you're a kid, you're just looking for like whichever one gets the ball to your favorite player. But there's, then you can go, deep pass could be 4 verts. It could be a switch. It could be a wheel post. It could be a dig fade, like whatever, right? Sail concept. And you would just pick one that gave it to your best player. The issue I have with Dave Canales is very rarely like the actual concept of the play, right? It's very rarely like a poorly designed play. I don't know if everybody saw it on Sunday Night Football, right? When you have 2 wide receivers right next to each other 40 yards downfield, and luckily they were both open and they called each other off like baseball, like I got it, and Matt Golden caught it. But like receivers being close together that kind of stuff doesn't happen with the Panthers that often, right? The plays are like solid designs. The issue I have is he's calling the wrong types of play. On 3rd down and long and you're down 20, he's calling draws. He's calling runs up the middle.
Yeah.
Right? And then randomly he'll call like a one-on-one shot for Tetero and McMillan when you're like finally ahead of the sticks. And I'm like, oh gosh, I love that play call, but for when it makes sense to be aggressive. It's that kind. So I almost want somebody to go, hey, let's, like, in his headset, give Ted a shot here. All right, let's see if Bryce can pick up this first. Okay, it's 3rd and 6, but we're going for it. You got 2 shots. Let's pick up 3. Like, I need somebody in his ear picking the chapter of plays, and then he's schematically effective enough to go, okay, we want a deep ball? All right, I got the perfect deep ball, right? Okay, you want play action? All right, good. I got a play action that I've been trying to get to because he's the one that has the experience as a play caller now. So I wouldn't expect, and I want to be clear on this because you can hope for it, but it's kind of like, hoping that it's not going to rain in Seattle or something. Like, you're just hoping against hope, and you're just going to waste your energy. I don't expect a head coach whose entire appeal as a coach is your offensive guru-ness to give up play calling as we need a shakeup, right? If you're somebody who's not that, if you're comfortable being a CEO head coach, then yeah, maybe you're like, you know what, we're going to take it out of the offensive coordinator's hands and we're going to give it to the quarterback's coach for a week, just see if that can be a spark for us. If you're the head coach and you call plays, you're not just like, hey, something we could change? Me. Like, it doesn't work that way. But I do think you could get your most trusted consigliere, your capo, right, to use mafia words, into a room and say, hey, listen, I need you to be in my ear just giving me an outline for play calling. Because right now I'm not seeing the flow of the game very well. And maybe one day down the line you go, you know what, now I am seeing the game pretty well. I don't need you anymore. I can now sense when it's the right time to take a shot, or sense when it's the right time to trust Bryce, or sense when he needs a breather play. But until then, like, I need you to be in my ear going, hey, Bryce a little rattled, let's get him a handoff. Rather than it feels like every time Bryce gets rattled, they're calling like a 7-step drop, double move, long-standing play. And then every time he's in rhythm, they're like, well, let's hand it to Chuba 3 times in a row and go to the sideline. And I'm going like, man, if you flipped those 2 play calls, I would have loved it.
I think the question is if he wants to make a move in that regard, do you trust Brad Isaac? I mean, Brad Isaac's just been a yes man for Dave Canales everywhere he's gone.
I think you trust whoever you feel has the best vibe for Bryce, right? Because that's what so much of play calling is just catching your quarterback in a place where you're mind melding a bit, where the moment your quarterback is thinking, I think I can get him deep. In the headset, you're going, all right, you know what? I think we can test him deep, right? Like, it's almost like, did he think that or did I think that? Did I say it out loud? Did he hear me? Like, you need that mind meld kind of happening. So it could be Idzik, it could be the quarterback coach Harriger, it could be I think they have a run game coordinator. Like, it could be whoever it is. Maybe bring in someone new, put him in the booth. I don't know. But there needs to be a different vibe and flow to the play calling is the way I would go with it. Because that's something, by the way, players borderline don't even have to know. Right? That could be a complete coaching decision that's done behind the scenes. Players think you're just like, wow, look at that. Coach is trusting me a bit more today. When in actuality, it's, the Ratatouille mouse up there in the hat steering the chef a little bit. Can you tell I have a 4.5-year-old at home going Ratatouille references, baby?
Oh, trust me, I'm sure a lot of Panthers fans want to pull their hair out too.
Yeah, there you go. That's well played. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the ladder challenge coming up. Coming down to the wire here. Copper drop, and later in the hour, a feedback frenzy. Well, we'll hear from many of you. Stick around.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan.
From the 25, Aller loading up, throwing down the right sideline. Intercepted! It's over! Dylan Thieneman with the INT, and the Oregon bench swarms onto the field. The Ducks have won in double overtime.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending and Carey. With the Federal Reserve cutting rates, the most frequent question we get is, do I wait for rates to go lower, or should I take the savings and just act now? At Miller Lending, we toss all the timing questions aside with our popular no-cost program. With no fees charged or added to your loan amount, you simply close on today's rates and refinance again as rates fall. With many economists predicting rates in the 5s next year, why pay upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 in closing costs just to get a rate you may get for no cost next spring? Imagine the freedom to use that money for more important things than reducing your payment by the extra $50. Recently, we've noticed a trend of related party transactions as some of the nation's largest lenders have bought real estate or mortgage lead sites, driving closing costs even higher. Please don't throw away all that cash or equity when all you wanted was a lower payment. Call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is the right loan for you. 919-447-3377, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender on MLS number 250-2146.
The 25th anniversary SAS Championship tees off October 10th through 12th at the Prestonwood Country Club. See golf's greatest, Ernie Els, Bernard Longer, Colin Montgomery, and more battle it out right here in the Triangle. This year's celebration is bigger than ever with fireworks after Food Truck Friday and exciting action from the legends all weekend long. Don't miss golf, food, family fun, and 25 years of memories. Get tickets today at saschechampionship.com. Proceeds benefit the YMCA of the Triangle.
Football season is here, and Carolina Ale House is the place to be. With a massive beer selection, wall-to-wall TVs, and our award-winning wings, you'll never miss a play. Add in our lineup of homemade favorites, and you've got the best seat in the house. Bring your friends, bring your appetite, and help us create that game day atmosphere all season long at Carolina Ale House. Wings, beer, sports, repeat. Hell yeah.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Richie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Richie Law is on top of it. Go to richielaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's richielaw.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There. Doesn't that touchdown feel 7 years ago? It was the opening drive of the Panther game against New England. Wouldn't that be just a... Never mind. They just could have kept it going. I mean, that is, by the way, we talked about it yesterday, but Dennis wasn't here, so... We can quickly have the conversation. Isn't that the issue with the Panthers?
They can't score after the opening drive?
Not only that, it's they're great until the first bad thing happens. Mm-hmm. And then it's just, well, we had a good run. Now it's over. Defense gets a stop. Offense even moves the ball a little bit. They're forced to punt. Once that punt return happened, it was just, well, they're not going to make a good play the rest of the day.
I said this on Sunday during Panthers Playbook that team lacks toughness. They just simply lacks mental toughness.
I was going to say
it's mental toughness. They just as soon as something, like you said, as soon as something bad happens, there's no coming back.
Just in the tank.
And I even mentioned this about Bryce Young. About you expect your quarterback, who's captain of your team, leader of your team, by default you are, to say, hey guys, it's all good. Follow me. Not saying he has to go out there and throw for 400-something yards every day, but how he carries himself, the team follows in that regard. So have you seen him really try and rally the guys? Have you ever seen him in a game, hey, guys, we're down by 14. Let's stay focused. Let's stay calm. Let's stay on task. I'm going to get everyone in the right spot. You do your job. I'm going to do mine. Let's go do this thing. We haven't seen that from this team. We haven't seen that from Bryce Young either. But, hey, when things are going well, we see that smile and swagger. We see the smile and swagger when things are going well, Tim.
It is.
Classic front runner.
Well, it's. I don't want to call him a front runner because I do think he puts in the work and he tries hard when things are going poor. It's. And you know what it might be? And I had not had this thought until just now. in his life, I don't know if he's been behind enough.
No, he hasn't.
He's been the number one prospect. He went to Alabama where he got to take the final kneel down in a national championship win. Then he got to take over. He won the Heisman. And I don't want to act like, everybody has their stuff, right? And I'm sure that his life has not been charmed the entirety through. But I always come back to JT Daniels. And I don't know if everybody remembers JT Daniels. He was the stud 5-star quarterback that went to USC, Southern Cal. He was in the same recruiting class as Amon-Ra St. Brown. And those two were both 5-stars. And JT ended up playing his freshman year, and it became a huge thing, and he was great. And I'll have to find the article because I referenced it a bunch. There was an article where his dad was interviewed, and his own dad was saying, I'm worried about what's going to happen when he faces some struggles, because he's saying this publicly, by the way. He's like, he's never really, every class he's had, the teachers loved him. He's gotten an A. Every sport he played, he was the best on the field the whole time. He graduated high school early to go to USC as a 5-star and started what should have been his senior year of high school at USC. And I this is I don't know how he's going to react when things. And then guess what happened? He blew out his knee. Didn't get the starting job back at SC, transferred to Georgia, transferred to, I think, West Virginia, transferred to Rice, and it didn't end up happening, injuries or otherwise. And every time he faced some adversity, every time a coach went with another starting quarterback over him, every time he played well but the team lost, my brain went right back to that article on I wonder if he's going to do it.
Little breaking news here for you.
A little breaking news?
Yeah. Not announcing the engagement again. Panthers have waived 2023 third-round pick DJ Johnson.
All right, we got issues. Hold on.
The guy that played 24 snaps in this past Sunday's game as opposed to Princely Umamielan's 12. So, yes, DJ Johnson has been waived by the Carolina Panthers.
We've got some issues. He played 24 snaps this past week. Is that what you said?
Yes, played 24 defensive snaps. Can't remember how many special teams, but he had 24 defensive snaps on Sunday to Princely Umamielan's 12. Nick Scorton played a ton, by the way.
Okay, here's my initial reaction, and keep in mind that is the nature of breaking news. That was my first time hearing it.
Also, the team waived/injured DeLavon Campbell.
The wide receiver who was active, I want to say, for the first time.
He played in the first few games.
Okay. Here's my initial reaction. My first time I heard it. This screams disconnect between the defensive coaching staff and the powers that be, whether that be Dan Morgan, whether that be Dave Canales. When a player is playing above in the depth chart, in snap counts, in actual actions, right? A player is getting more snaps than somebody like Princely Umamielan, who was a priority third-round pick for the Carolina Panthers and has shown some pop in the moments he's gotten to play, which haven't been plentiful. When DJ Johnson is playing over that and then is released that week, that strikes me as, I told you not to play him.
Yes.
That's
100% what that is.
And now I'm going to take it out of your hands. You're going to have to play these young guys because DJ Johnson isn't going to be there because we're cutting him. It screams Dave Canales. What was it? After the first game, after game number 1 was in the post, or may not have been post game, may have been the Monday after. He was saying listen, I was pushing for the young guys to play, and I'm going, and we did a whole segment on it. We talked about it here on the show where I'm going you don't push as the head coach. You don't suggest, you don't nudge. You make commands and they get done.
Yeah, you dictate.
You're the head coach. You mandate, dictate, command, whatever you want to call it. It's not, I was hinting that maybe we should. It's no, you do it. And now you're a month in, and there's still – by the way, DJ Johnson, aside from all – if he was producing, none of this would be an issue. He kept being given opportunities while a player like Princely Umamielan hasn't been. And it's we want to see what we have there. He has a sack. We don't have but 2 of them all year.
Yeah.
He has one of them. And you're playing DJ Johnson, who's getting washed out on run plays, who's not getting pressures as a pass rusher, and this is like, all right, your actions said you want to play DJ Johnson. Our actions are now going to say in response, you can't play DJ Johnson. And to be completely honest, that's not fair to the players, right? That's not fair to the players where they have to be used. Their like active status within the team has to be used as a trading chip amongst coaches that are not seeing eye to eye. I understand it's probably frustrating for Evero, the defensive coordinator. And I'm reading tea leaves here. None of this, like, this is just an instant reaction into what I think the social nature is playing out here. But it's not like one thing. There are multiple dots we're connecting here. It's probably frustrating for Evero. Evero is not Dave Canales' guy. He was the defensive coordinator when Canales showed up, and he was retained. And Evero, 2 years ago, was kind of a hot name for head coaching jobs. Mm-hmm. And he probably thought he was going to be the king of his kingdom sometime, right? He was going to be the king of his own castle by now. And instead, he is a lieutenant in Dave Canales' kingdom right now. And I would get it completely if he's saying, like, play the young guy, and you're going, the old guy is better. But guess what? You're the defensive coordinator. You're not the head coach or the GM or whoever's telling you. There is a strict hierarchy in coaching staffs. DJ Johnson being cut. I mean, if you were surprised by how he played, like if they watched film, oh, wow, those 24 snaps weren't good, we better cut him. I'm asking you what you saw before those 24 snaps that made you think it was going to be better than that. Because it's not – it was a surprise in how many snaps he played. It was not a surprise in how he played because that's
not at all.
That's how he's played since arriving in Carolina. And there's one more piece here. What was his role in the trade? Like, what was his pick? One that I believe he came over. Was it the Bryce trade?
So he was drafted in 2023 where the Panthers used a 3rd and a 4th round pick to move up higher in the 3rd round to take DJ Johnson.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah. So now if you look at the 2023 draft for the Carolina Panthers,
mm-hmm.
You have Bryce Young. You also have Chandler Zavala was part of that draft class as well. All right, here's the draft class of 2023. Bryce Young, 1st round pick, Jonathan Mingo, whom you've traded away, 3rd round pick, DJ Johnson, whom you've now waived, round 4 pick, Chandler Zavala, who's now starting for an injured Robert Hunt, and then 5th round pick, Jamie Robinson, a safety out of Florida State who hasn't been on the team in a couple years. So you literally only have 2 players from your 2023 draft on your roster.
Bad draft sets you way back.
Yep.
Bad draft sets you way back. And that's why you need a mix of like singles and swinging for home runs. Because you just need guys that you can play that are on rookie contracts to make the whole rest of your roster work. It doesn't have to be, everyone's a Pro Bowler, everyone's an All-Pro. Sometimes you just need some dudes that you can put out there for 24 snaps on defense and not feel like you have to cut them by Tuesday. That's the low bar to jump over. By the way, the thing that I was that I had pop into my head, and I set you up to not have the answer because the answer was
in your head.
Yeah, well, it was a different conversation.
Okay.
Brian Burns is kind of balling for the
the
Giants.
Figure.
And the draft capital, it was Nick Scorton, not DJ Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
The draft capital, according to Edgar Salmingo, who has done some reporting, and he's formerly FNZ, Fox Sports, bunch of stuff. The draft capital from the Brian Burns trade has turned into the trade up for Jonathan Brooks.
Yep.
And Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton better be like a 7 or 8 sack guy pretty quick.
Yeah, for
because
real.
Brian Burns already, he's leading the league in sacks right now. He's tied for number 1 in sacks. Granted, he's working with a defensive line that takes a lot of pressure off of him.
It's a stacked defensive front.
But those here's where the Panthers are struggling. And now we'll get to the rest of the stuff that we had scheduled in a minute. Here's where the Panthers are struggling. It is death by 1,000 cuts.
Mm-hmm.
It is this bad decision and that bad decision and that bad decision, and then now you're behind. It's no different than a football game, right? On the opening play, your kicker kicks it out of bounds. Is that a really bad mistake? No. All right, well, they get the ball at the 40. Okay, now you have your defensive lineman jumps off. All right, now is that really a horrible mistake? No, but okay, but it's 1st and 5. Now they take a shot downfield because it's 1st and 5 and they have a short against the sticks. And oh, look at that. You know, your defensive back's in pretty good position but not great position. They make the catch. All right, now they're in field goal range. And it's just those little – are any of them individually a bad, like, horrendous mistake? No, but when you add them all up, you're going to give up points, and you're going to be down by a bunch, and you're going to lose like you did to the Patriots. If you look at the last decade of Panthers, right? If you look at the last decade of Panthers, it's just little mistakes over and over and over again. Oh, you know, this 4th-round pick didn't stay on the roster for the entirety of his rookie contract. And because of that, they had to go over the top, right? What was DJ Johnson, a 3rd-rounder? Is that
third rounder.
3rd-round pick, DJ Johnson. That's not a great 3rd-round pick edge rusher because he's not getting pressure. Maybe you had to go spend on Jadeveon Clowney. Now, that money couldn't be spent to keep Brian Burns. Now, Brian Burns is gone, and you missed on some offensive linemen, so you got to take the Brian Burns money. You got to spend it on offensive line, which means you're not going to have the money to go get a linebacker, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds until you're where you are now. And now it's not just one great decision to fix it, right? The only way to fix it is to do exactly what you did in reverse. Go pick a good 4th-round pick that you can play 50% of the snaps. And go take a 2nd-round pick that plays like a later half of the 1st-round pick. And go find a free agent who, you know, has something left in the tank but is willing to play close to home, right? And it's you got to get it back one step at a time. But you look at it like okay, you didn't sign Brian Burns to a long-term extension after his 3rd year. Not a huge mistake. You would have wished it got done, right? Then you go into the 4th, the next offseason, right after his 4th year. Now he's holding out, right? Or actually, that was after his 3rd year he was holding out, right? He wanted the contract extension. Now he's holding out. Now you're burning bridges. Now there's animosity. Now you got the front office digging their heels in. Maybe David Tepper getting involved. Now, okay, it's a lost cause. You have to trade him. You trade him for scraps. You trade up to get a running back. Guess what? That running back was dealing with a knee injury when you drafted him in Jonathan Brooks. Turns out that was a bad decision. He has another knee injury. Will he ever get back? Who knows? So now you have the entirety of the Brian Burns trade being on Nick Scorton, a 2nd-round pick, has to perform like it was worth it. And guess what you should be expecting a 2nd-round pick to do? Perform a little bit better than a 2nd-round pick. Positive value, right? Just be something good there. It's I feel like I'm like a responsible gambling ad right now.
You might be.
Right? If you lose $5 on a bet, and you lose $5 on a bet, and you lose $5 on a bet, and you lose $5 on a bet, don't take $5 and try to go hit the parlay for 30 to get all your money back.
Don't chase your losses.
It feels like what the Panthers are doing and did. Right? It's like, all right, we lost a little value. All right, we lost a little value. You know what? Let's trade up for the quarterback. Get it all back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, then it looks like we lost DJ Moore, and you know what? Let's go get the wide receiver in the 1st round. And it's just like you're swinging for the fences to get your losses back when just give me one step in the right direction.
Speaking of this year's Panthers team and looking at this transaction, again, for those who may have missed it, DJ Johnson, the outside linebacker for the Panthers, was released. He started this past Sunday. To me, this screams of 2 things. One, like we mentioned earlier, Evero, we told you to play the young guys. Now you have no choice. But second of all, you're sending a message to everyone in the locker room being like, hey, this guy just started for us this past game. Now he's no longer here because we didn't play well enough. And if that's what we have to do, we'll start sending guys away. Now he's easily expendable because he's not his contract and all that kind of stuff. He's still on a rookie deal. It's easily expendable. But now you're starting to send a message to the locker room that, hey, you know that guy that you were sitting next to? He ain't here no more.
I would also throw it, as far as like nonverbal communication, it kind of tells the players we don't know what the heck we're doing.
Maybe.
This past week, we thought he was the best option at edge rusher. We started him. By Tuesday, we know he's not even good enough to be on the roster. There's some nonverbal communication to agents to like, oh, they're really scrambling there in Carolina.
We're going to cut the guy at a position where we already have injuries with DJ Wanham and Pat Jones, but you need to get out of here too.
There's a few teams that are really scrambling in the NFL right now.
Oh yeah,
and
Panthers are one.
The Panthers are maybe the leader of that group, but goodness gracious. All right, let's try to have some fun here. Let's get to a quick ladder challenge because I need every opportunity I can to catch up. Dennis, fire it up.
Oh, my God! And for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy. For the love of God, Jeff Hardy may be broken. Smack dab in half.
It's been a while. Dennis has been
Oh, my God!
There you go. It's been a while. Dennis has been not on the show. So, remind me, Dennis, how'd it go for you last Thursday?
Went quite well. I had Kyler Murray to throw for at least 150 passing yards in Thursday Night Football. He threw for 200 in that game against Seattle.
All right, so
this is the advantage of when you pick a quarterback who's trailing in the fourth quarter and the team has to throw.
So that means I need you to lose, okay?
Yep. So I'm up to $36.84.
Last chance for me today. I've only gotten one wrong all month.
Really?
And somehow I am significantly behind. I also won our last bet. I had Trey McBride 4 more catches.
I think you got that in the first quarter.
They feed Trey McBride.
They do.
So it's an easy winner for me. I'm up to $14.76. What are you betting on today?
So I'm going to go Major League Baseball. Dodgers and Reds. Wild card round, Major League Baseball. I just need them to score over 3.5 runs combined between the two teams. That's it. It's a minus 870 bet.
All right.
So that would take me up to $41.07.
So I need a pitching duel, and I need the Dodgers to win because my bet is Dodgers plus 2.5 over the Reds.
Okay.
It's minus 670. I did a little research here, not much. My research was this. The Dodgers' payroll is $350 million.
That's a lot of money.
The Reds is $119 million, which is also a lot of money.
It's not cheap.
Just not compared to what the Dodgers are working with. And that's not even including all the extra add-ons and taxes and aprons and luxuries or whatever else they have to pay. So I'm just following the dollars, hopefully, to a win or at least a close loss. I can give them a couple. Plus 2.5 Dodgers over Reds.
As long as they score 4 runs as a total between the two, that's all that matters to me.
So I need 3 or less runs, so it doesn't matter because I guess it could be 3 zippy, which would be just brutal if you lose and I lose.
Yeah.
But either way, Dodgers plus 2.5. That's my bet. Hopefully it works. Do we? You know what? No, we're gonna hit this DJ Johnson thing one more time here.
Okay.
Joe Person of The Athletic,
all right,
tweeted out. In addition to the breaking news that DJ Johnson, former 3rd-round pick, is being waived by the Carolina Panthers. They traded up to draft him back in the 2023 draft. He added, do you realize how many sacks he had in his 31 career games?
He had a half a sack.
Half of a sack.
Yep, that's it.
62 tackles, 1 half sack. Not 1.5. 0.5. That's it. That is atrocious evaluation. Because I can understand if you draft somebody and he's not as good as you thought. It is a completely other thing to draft somebody at a position that is largely judged by your ability to do one thing, and you learn they can't do it at all. It's one thing to think you're drafting a 300 hitter, and it turns out they hit 240. That's a bust. But guess what? At least they can kind of do it. It's a whole other thing to draft somebody you think is a 300 hitter, and it turns out they can't swing a bat.
Do you know, real quick, to kind of add on top of that? Do you know, so they traded in 2023, they traded a 3rd-round pick and a 4th-round pick to move up higher in the 3rd round. They traded with Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers took outside linebacker Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin, and they took Darnell Washington, the tight end out of Georgia. Both still on the team, producing in their respective roles. Nick Herbig has 11 sacks with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 11 sacks, including 7 forced fumbles and an interception.
First of all, that's impressive by Herbig right there.
Yeah, but I understand that TJ Watts and stuff over there, but you still have to produce in your role. Like, you still have to get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. It's it is I don't even want to say a low bar. A third-round pick, I do not have exceptional expectations for. I need you to be a contributor.
Solid contributor, if not starter.
If you end up a starter, I'm considering that a win.
Absolutely.
If you're somebody who is on the active roster and playing a decent amount of snaps your entire rookie contract, I'm good with that as a third-round pick. I want more, but I'm good with that. It's the players that don't make it to their end of their rookie contracts that really, really end up setting your team back. Because every other team that has a third-round pick that is just good enough to eat some snaps, that is just good enough that they can put them out there and not worry about them, that team has a super, super cap advantage on you. That's it may seem like a little thing, like, oh, you just did 17 minutes talking about a third-round pick from 2023 getting benched, or getting waived. But it's think of the opportunity cost. It's not just what Dennis said, which is that could have been Herbig. Or it's not just, if you look at the 2023 NFL draft, and I'll do this quickly just because it's, you got to rip the Band-Aid off and make it sting as bad as you possibly can. It could have been Devon Achane, who was drafted 5 picks after DJ Johnson. It could have been Tank Bigsby. Could have been Demarion Overshone, the inside linebacker for the Cowboys. Could have been Darnell Washington, the tight end. Could have been a whole bunch of different players. Trey Tucker's kind of going nuts as a wide receiver for the Raiders right now. Not only is it the opportunity cost of the players you could have drafted, but every rep you gave him. Right? Because if he's not playing great early on, but you believe in him and you keep giving him reps, which they did, they gave him 24 snaps this past week, that would have been an opportunity for someone else, Princely Umanmielen in the most recent case, to get out there and make a rookie mistake and learn from it, to get out there and realize a certain move doesn't work in the NFL, to be better for the moving forward portion of the season. Every rep you gave DJ Johnson, now that you've waived him, worthless. Every roster spot you gave him, worthless. Now, it's going to happen. Nobody bats 1,000%. But this Panthers regime seems to be, like I said, I think they're below the Mendoza line.
I mean, that's also the byproduct of the Scott Fitterer era, which is something that
True.
is still infecting this franchise.
Which I will give you, but drop the shovel. Right? If he started digging the hole and he passed you the shovel, don't keep digging. If you showed up and DJ Johnson wasn't that dude, move on, right? Like we're over a year. We're a while out of the Scott Fitterer era, right? So how long do those mistakes get to last?
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, the price, for example, trading up to get Bryce Young, you were still paying that bill in this 2025 draft. That's all byproduct of the Scott Fitterer era.
They had DJ Johnson on the roster all last year. They had him around the facility all offseason. Like, if you knew he wasn't the guy, don't go like, well, they drafted him years ago. We got to keep him on. Like, go find somebody else.
I think that was a byproduct as well of that roster last year. Obviously wasn't that good, but they had no cap space. Like, they had to keep him simply because he was cheap. Like, their hands were literally tied in that regard. Remember, they actually had to restructure guys' contracts during the course of the season to stay under the cap because with all the injuries and stuff they were having, they had to shuffle around the roster. So they literally had to keep him. They didn't have a choice.
Then if we excuse last year, coming into this year, like
I was surprised he made the team, to be honest.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like it's there is a certain point where you took over a roster, you got to make lemons out of or lemonade out of lemons. You got to make chicken you know what out of chicken you know what. But at a certain point, like, it's your team now. Like you gave him 24 snaps last week. Scott Fitterer had nothing to do with him playing 24 snaps, 13 more than Princely Umanmielen.
Let's also not forget as well, Evero had a hand in that decision to draft DJ Johnson too. So he's Evero's guy.
Then that might be, and Dan Morgan was around.
He was.
Let's not completely, he wasn't, he was out in Seattle years before. He wasn't there 2 years ago. All right, The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's get to the feedback frenzy. Let's hear what the people are saying about the conversations we've had recently. It's coming up next.
At Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You know, it's one thing to say you want us to win when we're winning, and when we lose to say that you want us to leave. That's not loyalty. And so we're going to be loyal to the people that are loyal to us, and that's these players, that's these coaches. We're going to fight together. We're going to fight hard.
That's Dave Doeren talking about the fan reaction to a disappointing loss for State against Virginia Tech. We talked about that yesterday on the show, and I assume by Dennis's choice of that clip, bringing us out of break, that will be a subject during our feedback frenzy. Dennis, what have you seen on the internet from our listeners in response to some things we've said?
Oh, let's just say that there are a lot of upset fans, whether you're NC State, whether it is Carolina Panthers. Duke fans seem to be doing okay, I guess. I mean, they won a couple in a row here, so they're doing all right for themselves. Let's actually go ahead and get into the loyalty, I guess you can say, when it comes to NC State fans. Actually, I found a couple of these really interesting. For example, this one comes from New Handle. New Handle 2025 says this. It's on our YouTube chat, by the way. Again, should fans remain loyal after a home loss to Virginia Tech? New Handle says, as stated, the loyalty is to the school and the team, not Dave Doeren. Your job is to win, Dave. If you don't like it, don't cash the $6 million check. Otherwise, quit whining about the fans who show up to see this. This being in all caps.
I I'm firmly of the belief, and coaches usually make this speech to the players, that like the jersey is special, right? The team is part of the magic, and it's going to be around long after you're gone, right? It is an honor for the time you get to wear the jersey that you get to wear the jersey. And it's about upholding a standard that jersey and those team colors and that team name demands. And if you're a coach, then turning around and saying, like, I want loyalty, whether we're winning or losing. And I know that's not exactly what he said, but that's how some are taking it. You're missing the point there, right? The fans of the team, not a fan of the people. Not until if or when you pass a threshold where, if you win like multiple national championships or something, you become synonymous. But that has not happened.
Along those same lines, this one comes from Taylor Reinhardt. Taylor says, it's not about being loyal. If Dave Doeren, if Dave Doeren thinks the fans are going to be upset after year 13 and never making a championship game in conference and losing to teams that we are better than, I don't know what he expects. Fans will not cheer for a bad product, and he should hold his team accountable. But even when he does, the results are the same 7-9 wins and a bowl no one cares about. He has not lived up to his own expectations.
Don't you say no one cares about the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yo, Pop-Tart Bowl, man.
Here's I keep doing this. Coaches, and I'm not saying this about Dave Doeren. Now I'm talking like in theory about coaches in general. There is a hint of hypocrisy where it's right. It's let me think about the way. Kind of along the lines of what I was saying there with the jerseys. There's you have to earn certain things. You should be getting better. Improvement is what we're judged on. All right, I had a better point there. Can you read that comment one more time and it will spark where I was going?
All right, so he said that it's not about being loyal. If Dave thinks the fans are not going to be upset after 13 years and never making a championship game in conference and losing to teams that we are better than, I don't know what he expects. Fans will not cheer for a bad product, and he should hold his team accountable. But even when he does, the results are the same 7-9 wins and a bowl game no one cares about. He has not lived up to his own expectations.
Fans are only going to cheer for wins. I didn't think I had a more complicated way to say that, and it escaped because my brain was going, no, keep it simple, stupid. Fans are only going to cheer for wins. That's it. That's all. And that's all it's ever going to be. And if you want fans to cheer for losses, you know what? Here's the hypocrisy I was going to say. What do coaches say when players are getting yelled at? When coaches are yelling at one player more? When players are yelling at one player the most? You don't have to worry when the coaches are yelling at you. You have to worry when they stop yelling at you, because that means they don't care. They're yelling at you because they see your potential and they know you have better. Well, guess what? If fans stop complaining after bad losses, that's bad. You want fans calling for jobs after bad losses, because that means they're still invested. If you see a loss to a team that just fired their coach, a night game at home, packed stadium, they've got guys hitting the transfer portal, they're starting a running back who has essentially no experience and he ran all over you. If fans are walking out of that stadium like, well, at least it was a nice night, we got hot dogs, that's a problem. That means they don't care. Apathy is what you're fighting there. If fans are yelling at you, they see your potential as a program. That's the hypocrisy. They want players to think that way, but not coaches.
All right, also a lot of consternation towards the Carolina Panthers.
Fair.
As a whole, I guess you could say. This one actually comes from on our TikTok. Actually, 99.9 The Fan TikTok. Follow us there, which, by the way, tons of comments pop up in the TikTok.
Hey, Kentucky.
So this actually comes from a conversation that Chris Lee and I have from Panthers Playbook regarding the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young and Dave Canales. So this one comes from WD. WD on TikTok says, This franchise, the Carolina Panthers, traded the farm to draft Bryce Young, and he hasn't developed into the franchise guy. Could have waited a year, built some pieces, and gotten the hometown kid in Drake May. But David Tepper didn't want to go that route. May just completed a full season's worth of games and is already miles ahead of Bryce Young.
I don't disagree with anything you said there. I'll build off of it. There is no get-rich-quick scheme in fixing a football team. There is no, we'll just trade the farm and get the quarterback and it'll all be good. And if you believe that, you're just going to set yourself back. I used the same analogy yesterday where you're like, oh, man, need a little extra cash. Your buddy's like, I got it perfect. It's no risk. You can get $1,000. Just give me $800 now, and I'll have it to you by the end of the week. It doesn't exist. Right? There's only one way to fix your football team, and it's to do it right over a long period of time and keep making good decisions. You traded up to number one, a hint of patience. Just a hint of patience. If you would have waited 1 year, you would have got the first overall pick for free. They essentially gave up DJ Moore, another first, a second, a fourth. I don't forget what the whole trade was for Bryce Young.
It was 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore.
So you gave up a first, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore to get the first overall pick 1 year earlier. That's all you did, to get it 1 year earlier. That's just impatience. You gave up DJ Moore, first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks to jump 1 year ahead.
You gave up 5 major assets for one guy.
And you could have had that
5 major assets.
And you could have
for
had,
one
I know
guy.
you wouldn't have had Bryce Young. You would have had the same archetype, highly drafted stud quarterback, big school. 1 year later, and you would have been able to keep it all. You would have had to stink for a year, and that would have hurt. Don't get me wrong. It wouldn't have been a fun year. But, tell me that's not, something you learn as a kid, right? Listen, you could spend your money right now. Or actually, you know what the lesson is? Did you ever go to, an arcade as a kid?
I still go to arcades.
Perfect. We used to go, my grandparents would go to Playland on the Ocean City, Maryland boardwalk. And Grandpa would bring all the little quarters, right? And all of the cousins would run up and he'd give you a quarter, you'd go play a game, and he'd run back up, give a token, go play a game. And the lesson was, right, you get 20 tokens or 20 tickets. You could run and get an eraser, a bouncy ball, a pencil right now. But guess what? When all the cousins come back this summer, we're going to go to the arcade again. When all the cousins come back this Christmas, we're going to go to the arcade again. And if you want to, you can have a little patience. You're not going to have the bouncy ball to play with right now. But next year or the year after, you might be able to get a remote control car. Next year or the year after, you might be able to get the big thing that hangs off the wall, the big prize. And you learn, all right, be a little patient. I'm not going to have as much fun right now, but my delayed gratification is going to be even better. The Panthers, it's like, listen, you go spend your tickets right now. You can spend a whole bunch of them right now. You go get Bryce Young. Or you could wait 1 year. 1 year, then you're not going to have Bryce Young to play on your team this year, but you could wait 1 year. You could get Jaden Daniels. You could get Jalen Carter, whoever you would have drafted 9th overall this year. You can get 2 more second-round picks, whoever they end up being, Tyreek Stevenson and I think an offensive lineman that they drafted for, I'm just using the picks Chicago used. And you could still have DJ Moore. Tell me which one's better. All the difference is waiting a year. I learned it in an arcade when I was 8 years old from my grandparents. Apparently the Panthers are still learning. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was a quick feedback frenzy. Maybe we'll definitely do it again later in the week. Maybe we'll work in an extra since we cut you short on that one.
Yeah, one quick one here. This one comes from Loud Pack Luck on our YouTube live chat. It said, I miss being a Panthers fan before Tepper was the owner. Football was fun then.
You know what's maybe this will make you happy, maybe this will make you sad. Since 2018, which is I believe when Tepper purchased the team.
Yeah.
The Panthers don't have the worst record in the league.
No.
With the Jets' loss last night, they are 1 loss worse. They're 1 win less than the Carolina Panthers. I think since 2018, it's like 37 wins for the Jets and 38 for the Panthers. I might be a little off there. But hey, got to take the wins where you can get them, right? You're not dead last under David Tepper. You're just pretty much dead last. I'm not sure that was as uplifting as I was hoping it was going to be. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
It wasn't, but that's fine.
Yeah, it happens.
It's just even more depressing.
Yeah, it probably is. We have the starting five coming up next, and maybe this will get you juices flowing, a little optimism. We have SAS Championship tickets to give away for the numbers game. It's coming up later on in the 5 o'clock hour. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Wait, what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
It's bow time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states and situations.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at richielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Cloudy skies continue tonight with some patchy light rain and drizzle into Wednesday morning. Lows dip into the mid-60s. Wednesday, gradually the clouds will clear. We're back in the mid-70s for highs during the afternoon. And by Thursday, the humidity dropping with a high of 71.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit Newcomb and Company.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 82 points today to 46,397.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. One more time for the day. And I might do it again, so no promises. Please download our app, 99.9 The Fan.
Yes, please do.
If we're polite and say please and thank you, will that make it more likely?
I hope it does.
Many of you already have, and hopefully many more of you will, but please download the 99.9 The Fan app. Head to the Google Play Store on Android, App Store on iPhone. If that confuses you, if that alone was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, you can just head to any of our social medias, look in the bio, follow the links, instructions are there. But the app is awesome. I didn't make it, so I can say that without like patting myself on the back. It's super easy to navigate. It has all the content that we put out in like really that makes sense, organized fashion, where if you want to divide it by team, you can divide it up by team and only catch the teams that you want to hear about, read about. You can divide it up by show, this show, Adam Gold show, any of the podcasts, Next Up with Paul Ihander in the mornings. You can really sort it to your liking, which is, I think, we try to put together the best plate of food we can, but we don't know that you got an allergy to something, or we don't know that you like to salt your food extra aggressive. Like you get to go and make the meal fit to your exact taste on our app, which is kind of what it's there for.
And we have, for example, we have those little news tab as well, which is I usually write one after each Panthers game, which is mostly me venting about the Panthers.
Not after the Falcons game.
No, that was actually. But even then, I threw some questions about the offense still out there. But yes,
there's very little that's been answered everything. But hey,
Yeah.
30-0 was a little fun.
Gosh, that feels like so. so long ago.
My point is the app you can really. It is one of those apps that the more you use it, the more you'll get out of it. So go download it, check it out for yourself, explore it, tap around, and make sure you actually register. There's, I don't know, a little profile you can make, name, birthday, a few other things, email address. And if you do that, you're entered to win a whole bunch of stuff. We've already given away college football tickets. We've given away a signed Panthers jersey. We're giving away more college football tickets this week. It's NC State, Georgia Tech, November 1st. So the only way you can win those, I can't give them away on air. I can't say, like, call in now. I can't. I don't have that ability. The only way you can win it is on the app. And there's, by the way, to maybe beat a dead horse, be a broken record, there's a really easy to navigate tab that says how to win stuff. And you just click on that, and it takes you to the contest page. There's a bunch of cool stuff happening. Are the Ed Sheeran tickets still available to be entered to win there?
Oh, I need to look and see on that.
I mean, with Ed Sheeran tickets, signed jerseys, tickets, like it's all we're trying to give stuff away on the app.
I'll open up the app and I'll tell you.
This better be quick after all of those. How easy it is. You can be like, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. That would not be.
No, actually doesn't look like.
All right,
that was
so
last week.
One of you maybe. I don't think we've notified a winner yet.
I don't think so.
One of you may be in the mix to win some Ed Sheeran tickets.
That'd be pretty cool.
I've heard he puts on quite the show. All right, that's enough promoting the app. Please download it. Cool. Let's get to the starting five.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So Monday Night Football was last night. And I imagine the NFL had a different style of game in mind when Cincinnati at Denver was given a primetime spot early on. Denver this preseason was everybody's, they're really good. Sean Payton has them going in the right direction. The Bengals were at least, they're going to be one of the high-flying offenses in the league. Joe Burrow gets hurt, and you learn pretty quickly that Joe Burrow did a lot of the heavy lifting for that offense. Denver won 28-3. If Panther fans of misery loves company, call your Bengals fan friend. There was some give up on the field last night.
Oh, yeah.
That I think Panthers fans probably felt in about that fourth quarter against New England. Cincinnati fans felt late night last night, where you can really commiserate about teams packing it in and just saying, yeah, I think we're done here, while they're down, 3 scores. 28-3. It's a rough one. On the other side, there was a doubleheader for Monday night, which I do not like. One Monday night game. But the Jets at Miami, honestly, it was impressive that Miami let the Jets stay as close as they did. I felt like Miami was dominating the game. You look down at the end, it was 27-21. There's one wild play by Justin Fields, who reverses field and turns into a, I don't know, like a racehorse down the stretch. The dude is a wild athlete. Garrett Wilson made a couple wild plays. Miami was the better team. They deserved the win, and they got the win. Miami is also the team that the Panthers play next. And Tyreek Hill got hurt. So they're going to be at less than full speed on a short week going against the Panthers after last night's game. Gruesome injury. For those of you that nobody likes watching them. if you get queasy while watching the injuries where knees are bent the wrong way and things like that, anytime you see Tyreek Hill on social media, scroll quickly because it's a rough watch. That is number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
You have got to be kidding me.
We're kind of in no man's land when it comes to MLB fandom here in this part of the country. But when the playoffs start, it deserves to be acknowledged. Major League Baseball playoffs start today. What do we have? The Padres and Cubs going on?
Yeah, the Cubs are up 2-1 right now. We already had the Cleveland Guardians, my apologies, and the Detroit Tigers. Detroit held on to win that one in the 9th.
Detroit would be the lower seed.
Yeah, they were the lower seed because they were on the road. Cleveland had a runner on third, down 2-1, had a runner on third, no outs. Couldn't get a run across.
There is, for those of you that are the casual baseball fans, like I think many in this area are, Red Sox Yankees in this wild card round.
Yeah, it's at 6 o'clock.
I mean, if you're just say, I might watch some baseball, playoff Red Sox Yankees, and that's one of them that you'll probably watch.
By the way, I love day baseball games. Love it.
I love it if I can be at them.
That's fair. No, but even just having it on TV here in the studio and watching, it's awesome.
That is, you know what you're hearing?
What's that?
You're hearing people all over the place go, that's because your job is different than mine.
Yeah, I'm sure other people love it too.
With our job, we're not doing our job if we don't have sports on in the middle of the day. If there's a game, there's somebody like, I was in meetings all day. I was on the job site. I was working. You guys watching baseball on a Tuesday at 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, I know. We're lucky in that way. But the Major League Baseball playoffs are going on. Dennis, pick your World Series champion.
Give me the Dodgers again.
Boo.
Give me the
boring.
Dodgers again. Yeah.
I'm taking. I know so very little about the. There's not enough time in the day. Give me the Phillies. Bryce Harper.
There you go.
I know a player. Give me Trey Turner. Right, he's a state guy,
That's
right?
right, he is.
State. There we go.
Schwarber.
Schwarbombs. Just 3 of them in the winner in the World Series. Castellanos, is he still there?
Might be.
All right, so if there's anything, crazy happening away from the field, he'll hit a home run right in the middle of it. All right, that's about it. And that's Talking Baseball here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Number 3.
Let's do that hockey.
Dennis, give us the latest contract details from the newest highest paid player in the NHL.
That's right, highest paid player in NHL history. Kirill Kaprizov, Minnesota Wild, signed an 8-year, $137 million extension, or 136, whatever it is. It's $17 million a year over the next 8 years. Correct. For Kirill Kaprizov. So it's $136 million total. $17 million a year. That actually kicks in next year. He's making $9 million this year. So he's under contract for the next 9 years with the Minnesota Wild.
Just to be clear, you said $17 million per year.
Yep.
And
it's the highest in NHL history.
For those of you that are unaware, NHL money fully guaranteed. Unless you get bought out, which this contract pretty much guarantees you can't.
Yeah, because buyouts, you get paid out a portion of your base salary. Signing bonus is fully guaranteed.
It's unlike football where sometimes you hear $136 million over 4 years, and they're like, or they could cut you after 6 months and only give you 9.
Yeah, that's not this.
That's not this. $17 million per year. The previous high, 14? Draisaitl?
Yeah.
That's a big jump from 14 to 17 million per year. And as anyone that's ever covered any professional sport of any kind, that is what they call a market reset. And what that means is McDavid's hands are out. He's going to be asking for, 18 to start? If Kaprizov's 17? You know what? I can't take credit for this joke. I want to give my bibliography. I saw it multiple places on social media. Dennis, with Kaprizov now getting $17 million per year, I heard Natchez is holding out for 24. But not my joke. Not my joke. There it is. Not my joke. But in realistic conversation about the deal. When a market jumps like this, and it's going to continue jumping because of, you look at the cap projections for the next 3 or 4 years, and you look at the way the NHL is quite frankly bringing in more money. Contracts will continue to go up. There are some contracts on the Carolina Hurricanes that are going to look unreal 2 or 3 years from now.
Oh, yeah. Some look unreal already.
Seth Jarvis makes, against the cap, $7.4 million per year.
7.42.
Now, I'm not saying that he is as good as Kaprizov. I'm not saying he's as accomplished as Kaprizov. I'm not saying any of that. I think he's within $10 million per year within Kaprizov.
Yeah, for a player that's 5 years younger like Jarvis is.
And there's Jacob Slavin, and again, not comparing him directly to Kaprizov, different position, different impact, different whole bunch of things. $6 million in change for Jacob Slavin? I mean, screaming just value. You ever go to a store and not anticipating to buy anything, come home with a few things? Someone's like, "Why'd you do that?" It was such a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. You know what? It's food. It's not perishable. We'll keep it. I don't know. I bought who was it? Hannibal Buress.
Soup. Yeah.
Hannibal Buress used to do a stand-up comedy about he's found a deal on deodorant.
Yeah.
And he was buying like 100 deodorant sticks, and he's checking out, and the checkout lady was like, "Ooh, somebody must smell," and he's like, "No, it's just a deal. These are gonna last me forever. I don't use a stick every morning of deodorant, but it's a deal." Like, of course, I feel like with some of the Canes fans, it's like, or Canes players, it's like, I had to give Stankoven $6 million a year for X amount of years. It's a deal. I couldn't not do it. I had to give Blake. I had to give Ehlers, whatever, 7.5, 8.5, whatever it is. Like, it's Kaprizov just went for 17. I couldn't pass this up.
That's the thing. Yeah, Nikolai Ehlers literally half that at $8.5 million a year.
And that's in the same market. That's like the same offseason. That's not, because like, Aho makes $9.75, but he signed that years ago. It was a different market then. Ehlers signed in the same market that Kaprizov just signed in. And again, I'm not saying he's as good as the more expensive player, but I don't think there's a 50% difference. There's a difference, don't get me wrong, but value is value, man. About 4 years from now, because some of these deals are really long term, about 4 years from now, some of these deals are going to look insane. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
So, yesterday we opened up the phone lines. We did a little Monday sound off, one of my favorite segments of the week. Both, I made the joke, and I'm going to make it one more time here for those of you that didn't hear it, that if you're a disgruntled football fan in the state of North Carolina, when you call in or when you see us in the street and you want to talk to us, use last names when you're complaining about the coaching. Because if you just come up with, "We got to fire Dave, he's not doing a good enough job here, and we've had enough of it," and I'm not going to know which conversation we're having, right? Because I've heard darn near 50-50 complaints from Dave Doeren and Dave Canales since the weekend. And there's been quite a bit of calling for jobs. And I like to always say this. I think it's a gross thing in the media to start, firing people before you're there, because these are people, right? They're humans. I do think as a fan, if certain expectations aren't being met, you are within your fandom rights. We should make like the 10 commandments of fandom, like things that you are allowed and not allowed to do.
Okay.
I think you are within your guardrails if you demand change, right? If you think somebody if you do it respectfully, you can think you need a new, fresh voice leading the team without being disrespectful about it, and I think you're fair there. The point I made earlier, and it applies to both Daves, Canales and Doeren, is it's firing your coach is not the finish line, right? You don't celebrate like, "All right, we're going to get something new, all right." You don't go full Wizard of Oz, ding dong, the coach is. You don't do that. because it's really the beginning of a lot of really hard work with really high leverage decisions that are really difficult to execute. Virginia Tech fired their coach a couple weeks ago, right? And this is obviously related more to ACC and Dave Doeren than it would be Dave Canales. Fired their coach a couple weeks ago. Today, their board approved $57.25 million per year in additional athletic funding for the next 4 years on average. It's $229 million in additional athletic funding was approved today for Virginia Tech over the next 4 years. If you fire your coach and you're looking for a new one, those are the numbers they're going to ask about. It used to be when you were hiring a coach, you wanted to know the coach would show up, right? All right, what are the facilities looking like? Okay, do I have a private jet for recruiting traveling? That's what's my pay? Now it's what's my pay? It's what perks do I have as far as recruiting and everything? And do I have a realistic shot at funding our entire revenue share? Which means I need $14, $15+ million per year coming from the school. Do I have enough in additional NIL resources to compete for starting quarterbacks and starting offensive linemen and everything else? The money is huge. And if you're not willing to if you don't think you can make that kind of commitment, I don't want to disrespect you, but changing the coach ain't going to change enough. And for the Panthers, much more in the NFL, a coach is just a cog in the wheel than it is. I do think the coach controls a lot more in college. In the NFL, the coach is a piece. It's a big piece, but it's a piece. And changing the coach without making sure everything else will be in alignment after, it's a fool's errand as well, right? What we've seen, they moved on from Scott Fitterer, hired the new coach, got the new quarterback. None of that was done at the same time. It was all done herky-jerky on the timeline. And if you move on from Dave Canales, but you want to give Bryce Young another shot, all right, then you got to bring in a guy who believes in Bryce. Then if Bryce doesn't work, all right, you move on from Bryce. Now you got a coach whose clock is already ticking because he's been around for a while, and he's bringing in a new quarterback. Then maybe that doesn't work out. Well, okay, now you're going to blame the front office, so you fire the GM. Now you have a GM coming in. He's got a coach he didn't pick, a quarterback he didn't pick. I think it's much easier to ride it out with quarterback, coach, GM until you're willing to or feel necessary to move on from either all of them or at least the coach and quarterback at the same time. It's a nasty part of the business. I'm glad in my career, I don't think I've ever had to fire somebody, and I'm kind of glad that I don't, because it doesn't seem like a fun conversation. I understand it's sometimes necessary, but that doesn't mean you got to like it. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one through the crease. It'll come back for Nikishin at the left point. Alexander Nikishin wires and scores! A low shot to the blocker's side, and Alexander Nikishin has tied this game at 2.
All right, so the preseason is nearing its end for the Carolina Hurricanes, which is good news because that means the regular season is getting closer.
Let's go. Thursday next week, folks.
Thursday of next week. It's always good when you don't have to say a date, right? When you can start just describing it by like day of a week from Thursday rather than, like, oh, in September, blah, blah, blah. Or October 12th or whatever it is. Like, you can just start talking about it. That means you're getting close. It's like when you're on a long car ride and you start seeing just the name of the city you're driving to on like the big green highway signs. You're like, all right, we're getting close. I like that. But there has been. Let's start this over. Earlier today, the Canes made some announcements on roster decisions. Guys going down to the AHL, guys being waived with the anticipation of putting them in the AHL, certain players being kept up, whatever it is. Dennis, what was your big takeaway? And I'll put it this way.
Okay.
Was there anything that stood out to you aside from Bradley Nadeau going to the AHL?
No.
There you go.
Not at all. Nothing surprised me at all.
It's actually
I will say this. Giovanni Smith still not let go from his professional tryout contract.
Okay, and
that's probably the big surprise.
Earned in weird ways for Giovanni Smith.
Yeah.
Played some good hockey, which was at times overshadowed by the fact that he dropped the gloves at a moment's notice all preseason.
Oh yeah, I mean he's produced some points too.
Exactly, played some good hockey there. The Nadeau part of it, I think the outrage might be the wrong word, but the reaction I think is overblown. He's in the AHL for now. If he plays a little bit better two-way hockey down there, I think he could be brought up in a couple of weeks. If there's an injury, he could be up here in a day. I don't think it's any kind of a negative on him as a prospect or as a future player that he couldn't crack one of the most complete lineups in the NHL.
Yeah, that's the question I always have for people. Okay, where does he play?
I assume
who do
Carrier
you
would
take
be the guy.
out?
I assume it'd be Carrier, but I would say I've put in 50% thought into that.
Okay, so then you're not going to put Bradley Nadeau skating alongside Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinook. He's not good enough defensively to play alongside those guys.
I've actually had this thought, and I'm going to say it out loud, but I want everybody to know that this is not a fully baked theory. I almost don't think you bring Bradley Nadeau up unless you plan on playing him in the top 6.
Yeah,
like he has
absolutely.
He has a top 6 skill set, and what I mean by that is style rather than quality. Like he's just he looks like a top 6 winger who just isn't quite a top 6 winger yet, if that makes any sense. He doesn't strike me as a fourth line guy who's going to go out there and do the grinding little things that you need a fourth liner or a stall liner to do.
Yeah, you're not going to ask him, hey, buddy, go chip the puck in the corner and grind out, the other team's third pair defenseman. That's not his game.
Which puts it in a weird situation because the top 6 for the Canes right now are not to be trifled with. Like they have a legit top 6. So it's first class problems.
Mm-hmm.
This is, my mansion is so big that it takes a long time to vacuum. Like it's a first class problem that you have a guy who is a flat out goal scorer. Like I don't even know what the term is. And when I talk NBA, like there are scorers and then there are bucket getters.
Yeah.
Right. And a bucket getter is just inherently a different mindset. I don't know what it is in hockey. Right. There are goal scorers and then there are whatever Bradley Nadeau is. Right. He is a guy who goes out there and his brain is wired to try to score. And he's good at it. Right. And you see flashes of it in the preseason where, he's putting the puck into small windows and he's making, granted, preseason goalies, but he's making preseason goalies look foolish at times. He can't crack the lineup. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because it means the guys up there are doing their thing.
You want Bradley Nadeau to skate 18 minutes a night.
Yes.
And get top power play minutes. It's the same thing, for example, in baseball. You have a really good young prospect pitcher who's a starter. Well, guess what? I have 5 starters on my major league rotation already. You want that guy to still throw as a starter. Okay, you put him in AAA to still throw as a starter. You don't put him as a reliever in the bullpen just to say at least we got him up here because that's not his skill set. That's not what you're asking and developing him to do.
Or even more so, you don't bring a guy up as a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Right? If you need 4 at-bats a night to get better, you give them 4 at-bats a night. And it's just the opportunities aren't there. But they will be. Trust me. Bradley Nadeau, if he is as good as many of us think he is, there will be a point where he's playing too well to ignore, and then you'll find a spot for him in the big league club. That's just Nadeau, right? And there's a bunch of guys that are that have shown some good things, right? And then, I'll put it this way. If Bradley Nadeau were the exact quality of player and he just happened to play on the blue line, I think he's probably playing opening night as they rest some of these guys to come back from injuries, and then you can be more cautious with others, and there's whole other things happening. But and by the way, today, what was it? Chatfield skated and Slavin skated.
Yeah.
They haven't been. So maybe if you had a Nadeau blue liner, you'd go, hey, you know what? Take another week. Make sure you're 100%. We have this guy. But there's no suspense on the forwards.
None.
From the moment they signed Ehlers, or actually no, from the moment Logan Stankoven skated out there with the second line in his first preseason game, and it was obvious they're going to give that a go. It's like perfect. I know the 12. There it is. I know the 12. And it's hockey. It's NHL. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's going to happen. Hopefully, it's not serious. And when it happens, maybe it's Nadeau that gets the chance. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And I'm advocating for Nadeau despite the fact that he played at Maine, and I hate Maine. I threw 4 interceptions against Maine. Worst game of my life at any level. Black Bears stink. We stayed at the Black Bear Inn. They had black bears everywhere. And then I went and threw 100 interceptions. And I'm still a fan of Bradley Nadeau despite his affiliation with that ridiculous school. So if I'm defending him and saying it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, yeah, a lot of that thought process going through my brain. At that time especially. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's talk a little Miller Lending. You know what? This is a perfect little rant to go into Miller Lending. Why? Because sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes you throw a good ball and the receiver doesn't go get it and it gets intercepted. Just like sometimes you say, no, I'm not going to get my mortgage now. Rates are going to come down and I don't want to be foolish and locked into a higher rate. And then what happens? Whatever the market equivalent of 4 interceptions is, and rates go up. They're up 4 points, and you cost yourself hundreds of dollars a month in your monthly payment by waiting. Instead of doing that, do what I should have done. Start checking it down and being smart and taking what the defense is giving you. That's what Miller Lending wants you to do. Take what the market is giving you, okay? Hear me out. They have something called a no closing cost loan. No cost of any kind, no closing costs, no third-party fees, no surcharges. And that allows you to take what the defense is giving you, take what the market is giving you. Say you lock in your rate, I'm just going to use round numbers. Your monthly payment is $1,000. Again, just using round numbers, it's an example. If rates go up, hand it off, right? Just keep making your monthly payment. If rates go down, that's your chance. Refinance. No costs, no fees. Doesn't cost you anything out of your pocket. Now your rate, it's $900 a month. Rates go back up, cool. Just keep paying $900. Keep moving the sticks. Keep paying $900. Rates go down, okay, time to take a shot. Right? Refinance, no cost, no fees. Now your monthly payment's $750. And you can do that as many times as the market allows. Just keep taking what they're giving you, moving the chains until eventually touchdown. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, is always good for some sports metaphors, and we're always good, at least I am, Tim Donnelly, for passing along the number to Miller Lending. Here's the number, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, numbers game. And I even teased the prize already. If you want to win SAS Championship tickets, the SAS Championship, it's PGA Champions Tour. So you'll see some of the greatest golfers to ever live coming right through here to the Triad area out there in Greensboro. They are celebrating 25 years, October. It's in Cary.
Yeah, Prestonwood Country Club in Cary.
I don't know what I was thinking there. Actually, the PGA goes through the Greensboro area. The Champions Tour right into our neck of the woods in Cary. The SAS Championship celebrates 25 years, October 10th through 12th. See, I would have gotten here eventually. At Prestonwood Country Club, and I would have gone, there it is. You can kick off the weekend with Food Truck Friday. They have a big fireworks show, then watch 7 Hall of Famers, 13 major champions, 10 Ryder Cup legends, all tee it up in Cary. Kids get in free. Tickets start at just $30. Grab yours now at saschampionship.com. That's SAS championship.com. And all this week, you can listen to the numbers game for your chance to win tickets to the Mellow Mushroom Chill Club with open bar and catering.
Okay, let's go.
How's that sound? The only way to win the tickets to the Chill Club, the Mellow Mushroom Chill Club at the SAS Championship, is to win the numbers game. We need 2 contestants. The number to call, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 to play the numbers game and maybe win some sweet golf tickets. It's coming up next. Call in now.
Move your sports day forward.
Hey, NC State. Hey, Carolina Panthers. It just wasn't meant to be again. It's okay to say you're not okay, but fixing it is not as simple as adding softies to your schedule. There's something broken within your organizations, and without meaningful change, the locker rooms could be lost again.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Today's real estate market can be a little challenging. That's why you need a company with both personal expertise and cutting-edge tools to deliver exceptional results. At Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate, innovative programs like Buy Before You Sell, Find It First, and their 100% money-back guarantee help you buy and sell with ease and seamlessly navigate every step of the home ownership journey. To learn why you should work with the #1 family-owned real estate firm in the country, contact an agent or visit howardhannatate.com.
Hey, it's Brian from McDonald's. And if you're like me, you're a don't talk to me until I get my cup of coffee person. Sarah knows that very well. That's why I treat myself to McDonald's. And right now, you can grab any sized iced coffee for just $1. Maybe you need something extra? Go for a hot or iced mocha, latte, or macchiato for $2. And if you're really feeling fancy, for $3, you can get a caramel or mocha frappe. Easy as 1, 2, 3. $1, $2, $3. Any size, every morning, during breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. As always, we have 2 contestants. For today, those contestants are Sal in Morrisville and Robbie and Clayton. They will battle it out with jersey number trivia. One of them will earn pretty sweet tickets to the SAS Championship. The winner will get to choose, all fair, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. It's the SAS Championship coming to Cary. There's Mellow Mushroom Chill Club tickets, which is food and drink and all kinds of stuff, in addition to the unbelievable golf, bunch of stars. But they have to win them. They got to win the numbers game to have a chance at the tickets. As always, we'll bring them both on one at a time. We will ask them a question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. Sal in Morrisville, are you there?
I am.
All right, here's the question. The winner of this this numbers game will get to go to the SAS Championship. There's an food, drink portion of the ticket. Let's say you show up to a sporting event. The key here is you're going to be watching and walking, right? So you don't have a seat. You're on your feet.
Okay.
What's the ideal food? You got to eat on the go while watching a sporting event. What is the #1 draft pick in the food category?
While walking. Wow. That's
You can't just sit down and get all messy. You can't have the plate. You can have a plate, but then you got to be able to eat one-handed with the other hand.
I got to keep it. I'm going to just keep it simple. I mean, it's probably just got to be a hot dog.
All right.
You know, yeah.
Hot dog locked in. What are the toppings? What are the condiments, if there are any?
Just mustard, and I'm not talking about the yellow mustard. I'm talking about like this golden spicy brown mustard.
All right, little Dijon maybe.
Nah, Dijon doesn't belong on a hot dog.
All right, I'm not a mustard guy. So I was just throwing out the only mustard word I knew. All right, we'll go Sal in Morrisville with the hot dog with a little spicy mustard. Robbie and Clayton, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, the same question to you. You're going to a sporting event, but there's some walking involved. It's a golf tournament. It's maybe there's multiple different fields you're trying to monitor, something going on. What's the #1 draft pick for food that can be mobile?
We'll do a slice of pizza in one hand and a cold beer in the other.
Slice of pizza and cold beer. Actually, both. This was a kind of a weird question that just popped into my brain. Both executed pretty well. Dennis, you have to choose between hot dog with a little spicy mustard on there, or pizza in one hand, beer in the other.
That's a tough one. It really is, because I was actually thinking those are probably the 2 best options if you're standing around walking. The hot dog can be really easy to
I'm
handle.
actually a fan of a walking, especially if it's not super hot out.
Yeah.
A walking like box popcorn.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one, too.
I like just you can kind of move. It's light. You can eat it for a while.
That's a good point. That's another good option.
But that's not one of your options.
But that's not one of our choices here. The pizza sometimes can be a little bit tricky just because sometimes the sauce can drip. It also depends on the size of the slice. So that there's a little bit of a factor in that one. What's that?
What's the flop?
Yeah, exactly. What kind of crust are we talking here? So that one might be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to go with Sal Mooresville with the hot dog on this one because that probably would have been my choice.
All right, Sal Mooresville
but
gets
I love
to go
a good
first.
Pizza, trust me.
And the beer was a nice touch as well. Robbie and Clayton, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Sal, you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right, the categories are NFL players that have led their team for at least one game in a meaningful stat this year. NFL players that crushed it in the old and new Conference USA, so somebody that played in Conference USA. NBA mid-September birthdays or NHL Hurricanes only?
I'll do the NFL players that one category at least this year.
They have led their team in a statistical category for at least one game this year. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
I'm good.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Omari and Hampton, Los Angeles Chargers.
8.
Correct. Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens.
5.
Incorrect. Devon Achane, Miami Dolphins.
28.
Correct. George Pickens, Dallas Cowboys.
3.
Correct. Matthew Golden, Green Bay Packers.
0.
Correct. Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens.
12.
Incorrect. Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens.
6.
Incorrect. Joe Flacco. This is incorrect. You said 5 first. You've gotten it right. Congratulations. That's a perfect score. And we'll have to go back and get the time because we kept going. It says Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens. He wore 5 with the Ravens.
Yeah, he wears 15 currently
15 with the Browns. So there's a little. I should have known that Joe Flacco. That's my guy. I should have been able to read that right off the jump. I was reading Baltimore Ravens and thinking Browns because I saw the number. But you get 5 right out the gate. So that is a perfect score. Congratulations, Sal.
Nice. Thank you.
So as soon as he got Matthew Golden would have been the time for the perfect score. We'll get there at some point, Sal, but stay on hold. We'll see if we even need the time. Robbie and Clayton, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Robbie, it is your turn to pick a category. The categories remaining are NFL players that crushed it in either the old or new Conference USA in college, NBA players with mid-September birthdays, or NHL Hurricanes only.
I'll do the NFL Conference USA.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need a perfect score faster than the previous contestant.
16.1 seconds.
So you need to go faster than 16.1 seconds. But even if you don't beat that time, keep going because there are other benefits of a perfect score. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Brett Favre, Green Bay Packers.
4.
Correct. Devin Singletary, New York Giants.
0.
Incorrect. Chris Johnson, Tennessee Titans.
28.
Correct. Chad Pennington, New York Jets.
12.
Incorrect. Chris Boswell, Pittsburgh Steelers.
3.
Incorrect. Devin Singletary, New York Giants.
28.
Incorrect. Chad Pennington, New York Jets.
10.
Correct. Chris Boswell, Pittsburgh Steelers.
2.
Incorrect. Devin Singletary, New York Giants.
22.
Incorrect. Chris Boswell. That's a well played game. Those weren't the easiest. The category may have been a little tough. You got Favre, you got Johnson, you got Pennington. For Singletary, we're looking for 26. You would have known that if you've been burnt by him in fantasy like I have. And also Chris Boswell with the Steelers is number 9. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
Yeah, congrats, Sal. Good game.
There you go. And he's humble and nice as well. Sal, congratulations. Perfect score. You are the winner.
Thank you.
16-point-something seconds ended up being your time. But the win was the win anyway, and you get the SAS Championship tickets with the Mellow Mushroom Chill Club and everything else that comes with it. Congrats.
Yes.
All right, so stay on the line. You have to pick which day you want. Dennis has to grab your info, but you know the deal by now. Once again, that was a little bit of my bad, but luckily it didn't end up impacting everything.
16.1. That's nearly the fastest we've ever had, by the way.
And we made him keep answering questions for a while that were impossible to answer. No, Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens. He's just naming numbers. 12? I don't know. He had already given the correct answer. That's actually a solid we should do that on like April Fools. Just do like Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls. They go 23. No. Try again. Make them 45, 12. Just make them keep yelling out numbers. Or make up players. What about that? Just mix them. Joe Carter. Okay, it's a baseball player. Toronto Raptors. I could have a lot of fun on April Fools with this one. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our app. If you like winning things, like you just heard our friend Sal there win a pretty sweet prize from the SAS Championship. There's ways to win. You could call in any day about 5:30 when we play the numbers game. Win the numbers game, you get a prize. It's that simple. Also, if you go perfect score, there are other benefits that come with it, like admission into other cool events. If you don't feel like winning the numbers game, but you still feel like winning, you can download our app. 99.9 The Fan app, available in the App Store, available in the Google Play Store. You download it. There's a little tab on how you can win things, contests going on. If you register and give us an email, you can be entered to win that way. We've already given away signed Panthers jerseys, with college football tickets. We have more college football tickets to win, Ed Sheeran tickets, and the app has only been live for less than a month. We've already given away all of that to some of our listeners. So keep going, keep downloading, keep listening to content, keep subscribing to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan, which, by the way, I need to check. We are within a stone's throw of 20,000 subscribers on our YouTube. So if you, all of you, keep subscribing and keep building and keep doing that, once we get to 20,000 subscribers, we have a really cool giveaway to do there to celebrate that milestone. So, I mean, we hope you're doing all of this because you like the content we make. We hope you're doing all of this because we try really hard to cover the teams you care about. But if you're just doing it for the free stuff, do it for the free stuff. We'll take it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, before we move on, you have something you want to pass along?
I do have something to pass along. Dennis Cox here for Loan Pronto. Folks, are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, maybe watching all your hard-earned money just disappear every single month? Well, right now, Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Imagine this. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with a fascinating bit of news out of the college sports world that is going to allow college sports fans to be grotesquely petty. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Look, Bradley Nadeau had a great preseason. I thought he was really impressive other than the first game. He scored 3 goals, actually 4, even though 1 was chalked off for being offside. And I think we got a glimpse of the future. Even though he's going to start the season with the Chicago Wolves in the American Hockey League, I think we got a glimpse of somebody who's going to be with the Hurricanes sooner rather than later and will be part of their future.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, Choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. In just over 2 months, I've lost nearly 40 pounds at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Those are just real numbers. In just over 2 months, I've lost nearly 40 pounds at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And one of the things I love about Raleigh Weight Loss Center is not just helping me reach that target goal weight. They want to maintain that goal weight as well. In a recent appointment that I had with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, not only were we discussing the final steps to get those last few pounds off, they started laying out the plan for how to maintain that weight. And they laid out the plan for the long-term goal, which is to keep that weight off. That's what Raleigh Weight Loss Center is there to do, not just reach the target weight, but help you maintain that long-term. If you have any questions, you have any concerns about Raleigh Weight Loss Center, not sure if the program is right for you, go to RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and schedule your free 15-minute phone call to learn more. Ask all the questions. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I think we have one of those things that falls in the category of well-intentioned but missing the big picture here, or not understanding how difficult it is to execute. Front Office Sports is reporting as of minutes ago. The College Sports Commission is creating what they call, meaning what Front Office Sports has here in quotes as snitch line, to share information about NIL rules violations across Division I college sports. This, again, according to reporting done by Front Office Sports. The College Sports Commission has faced several issues since NIL Go officially launched in June. First of all, I am of the belief that cheating should not happen, right? So I get the well-intentioned nature of, if you're a team and you're being tampered with, one of your players is being talked to by another school, hey, we can get you this much NIL money, that's probably something that you want to report. The offshoots, the ripple effects of this are where I think it's going to get ridiculous really quick. I think you're going to get fans calling into the snitch line, reporting a whole bunch of things that either did or didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going, like, if this is something that actually, it used to make me giggle the first time it happened, like a little chuckle while you're scrolling, like, to yourself. Now it's just played out. If somebody says something that gets them, like, fired, like cancel culture, whatever you want to call it, somebody says something, they lose their job, then all of a sudden a bunch of fans, like after a tough game, are saying, like, hello, my name is the offensive coordinator's name, and I just want to say, and then they say, like, the exact thing that just got someone else fired because they're saying, you know, they want to get that person fired. There's going to be fans calling into the snitch line saying, I saw this player getting this amount of money for this amount of stuff, and they didn't do the stuff that they need to do. And I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but it's going to be called in because they want their rival's quarterback not to be eligible. Or even, what about this? What about a little bit of sabotage? What about, I'm going to make a flyer that says, meet quarterback of my rival's team at this bar for a birthday extravaganza, cover $30, and I'm going to post it all over town, and then I'm going to take pictures of it, and I'm going to send it to this NIL snitch line, and then what are you going to do? Fans are crazy is what I'm saying. And anonymous snitch lines are just fodder for the wild and crazy. College kids, the wild and crazy. And then here's the other thing that I'm not sure they're prepared for. Do you have the manpower to investigate them all?
You don't.
Right now, NIL is the wild, wild west. Right? Imagine if, like, the sheriff covering everything west of the Mississippi in the wild, wild west said, if you have an outlaw running through your town, I want you to call and let me know. And then every town in the entire western part of the country, it's like, we got 4 outlaws. They're all terrorizing us. And you're just like, yeah, okay, we got 9 cops. What am I supposed to do? If your player's being tampered with, if there's an NIL deal that's a little shady going on here, call this snitch line. 2 seconds later, your mailbox is full. You have 1,000 messages from coaches across the country about tampering. And you're like, great, we have 6 control officers. Where do we start? Which one do we investigate first? What's the punishment? What's the precedent? There is a level of, and I don't say this as like throw your arms up and don't do anything. I say this as the reality of the task that you are staring at. There's a lot of toothpaste out of the tube in the NIL world. You didn't set the parameters. You didn't set the guardrails the way you needed to years ago. You were forced and backed into certain situations by the courts because you didn't have common sense and forethought. And now you're if there's a rule that like you can't be contacted by another team, I'm telling you right now, there is strength in numbers, right? You can't suspend everybody. And if you're really doing the research, there's going to be you're going to need RICO status. Like I read a book about the mafia, so I know a little bit, right? A little bit of an expert. 5 Families, really good book, really long. But RICO, right? You don't actually have to. If you ordered the crime and you didn't actually commit the crime, you're going to be held at responsible. I played at the University of Delaware. I think the statute of limitations is done on this, right? We had one player come from Maryland, transferred from Maryland, and then our coaches just started asking, like, hey, who else is unhappy there? And then they fired Ralph Friedgen, and all of a sudden, like, everybody was unhappy there. And we got a bunch of transfers from Maryland. Our coaches never reached out to those players specifically, but there was a player on our team who was good friends with them, probably in a group chat, right? And you go like, hey, who else is over there? And that player acts as a middleman. I think technically that's illegal. And definitely now it would be. But how are you gonna prove that? Hey, all right, so this snitch line, right? Assistant coach calls up. Hey, 3 guys from my position from my position group have heard from XYZ University. They've been promised $200,000. None of them are in the transfer portal. They shouldn't be allowed to be talked to. Well, who'd they hear it from? Well, they got a buddy on the team over there they played high school with, and it's, they heard it from his dad. All right, well, we can't get mad at the assistant coach for talking to a player who talked to his dad, who talked to a friend from back home, and was the message delivered? Yes. Was that against the rules? Yes, but there's RICO status. You're going to go punish the other kid's dad or the high school coach's assistant coach's teacher's aide? Trust me, college coaches aren't dumb. They're not like texting players specifically. They're not having them docu-sign when they're not in the transfer portal and leaving a big paper trail. It's shadier than that. It's the Wild Wild West. But I do think a snitch line is funny, right? You get like Brian Kelly on the line. Hey, Brian Kelly, LSU. I just want to report Dabo Sweeney. Why? I just don't like him. Click. He was talking about my players. He gave him an F in the post game. Remember that? That was not that long ago. And you're not allowed to talk about my players. Click. Snitch line. Good idea. Good intentions. Ridiculous in its execution. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of coaches, there's a lot of football fans in the state of North Carolina maybe wish their program had a different one. Are they correct in that thought? We're talking Panthers. We're talking NC State. We're talking in theory about wanting to fire your coach as a fan. And that's going to lead off Overdrive coming up next right here on 99.9 The Fan. One last time for today, please download our app, 99.9 The Fan. Search for it, subscribe, go in there, situate it to yourself, customize it, Google Play, App Store, all that stuff. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. At 20,000 subscribers, and we're almost there, we have a cool giveaway. So 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Please subscribe. Congratulations to Dennis. He's engaged. And we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good night.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Welcome home. Your home's